finals of Malta vibes. Will they be able to replicate the same sort of performance here and just tip over the edge above the likes of LDLC? And of course, have never made playoffs so far here in Malta vibes, so you know, there's still going to be a little bit of work to be done for their own right, and it's still plausible for them to win this one, but I think it's going to be a very unlikely situation. For me, I'm all aboard the Fate hype train on this one. I think we probably could go to 3 maps, but I think that, you know, Fate should be able to seal the deal here.
Yeah, look, I mean, even with me being pretty critical about Fate, I certainly think they've got the upper hand in this series, and I just don't see it being a possibility that LDLC are able to take a best of 3 over the likes of a team like Fate. Yeah, look, maybe they've got their ups and downs, but a big pointer is the fact, you know, these guys were in the grand final last week. There's no way that they should be going out in a group stage. So, Jay, look, going into this, I can certainly see it being 3 maps. It can potentially be a 2-0 for Fate if they can get off to a good start on train and put the pressure back on LDLC to come away with the Inferno pick.
I just think a team as good as Fate should be able to trump what LDLC have been able to do. You know, they've proven that they could be, you know, they could win the whole thing if they get into the right groove. I don't think LDLC have proven that yet, so let's have a look-see with our pistol round going live. Fate will start off on T-side. LDLC did win the knife round, and you can see the sheer amount of utility they've got here. 2 sets of Flashpoke and HE for Sixer and Afro, and over with the Defuse Kit and HE for Lambert. Meanwhile, the setup utility for Nikki going to drop a P250 off to Blocker. So looking like it's going to be a very quick entry into the B bomb side, where the smoke down from Connector is the most likely thing. Afro with his nade up, first contact, but not doing any damage. Landed too shallow on ramp.
Oh, this secondary nade, though, if it's timed right, can certainly do some damage. As soon as that smoke comes up, the HE should go down, the rotate should already start coming up, and LDLC, no, they've got a really good read on the situation. Already a bit of damage being done, a 1-for-1 trade, but the T side, they're damn aggressive on this B bomb side.
Yeah, pushed right up towards Connector. Patrick and Hana there. Nikki on a backstab as well. They could end up falling down here from the Connector face, but with this backstab, this should be basically round over, but he's not going to check it. They could even get a knife kill out of this one. No, he just goes for the headshot. 6 the last man out towards the CT entrance. 1 on 3 for the man, and Fate overwhelming on LDLC, and just kind of down to that early utility damage here. Final kill coming in for Har. No, Sixer actually takes him down. Looks for Mar next up, but no pistol clutches will come out for him here in this map up. But yeah, Fate kind of getting past the nade, you know, putting a little bit too deep on that backup nade, so couldn't do as much damage as it really could have done. And Fate will play up to the odds here, as of course, courtesy of our partners at Loopbet. Again, if you do want to take advantage of our 10 free CSGO spins and up to €100 bonus for your deposit, then you can click the banner under the Twitch channel to get involved. So, force play coming in for LDLC, but I'm imagining that Fate should overwhelm.
And that's a common strategy on a lot of the B hits. We often see Nikki being the lurker that tries to cut off the rotations, or at least rotate in from Connector to get into the back line. So when you often see Fate going for a B site execution, keep an eye out for Nikki. He does a lot of lurking around the A bomb side to see if he can find anything. And going into round number 2, it is a force buy coming out for the CTs, and already it's not really the greatest starts. Afro going down, leaving Lambert alone here at the B bomb site.
The 5-7 just playing very close towards Grill, or Marshmallow, whatever you want to call it. The face out from Heaven will just catch him off guard, not looking the right way at the right time, so an easy pickup, an easy bomb site. An easy round for Fate, it seems. Just waiting for Patrick to get that plant. Indeed, he will be able to do so. Matt 10 waiting back over at Pop Dog in case anyone wants to make their way up and look for exit frags. But for LDLC, this should be a safe call here, just to hold on to those weapons, get a little bonus out. You know, no sense in throwing away the weapons when you could have yourself a bit of an upgraded eco. I'm just going to put the Mac 10 on Patrick here. Usually you keep Nikki in that position. He's going to face around the corner to try and take them down and get some money on the board of the T side. Unsuccessful against Haji. Automatic weapon for LDLC to potentially work with going into round 3.
I'm just trying to think whether potentially Blocker may have played with Haji toward the back end of when kind of Windigo went into that weird state that they ended up going with a bit of an international lineup. So there may be a little bit of a rivalry between these two guys. But look, for LDLC, at least from what we saw from them in the previous best of 3 against Gambit Youngsters, we saw a lot of secondary AWPing from Lambert to back up the AWP from Sixer. And I'm pretty sure we're probably going to see the double AWPs come out quite a lot on this City side.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, it just makes sense with the nature of the train. even teams that don't run the double AWP setup will oftentimes just break it out anyway for train, just because of how effective it can be, even with the secondary AWP not being as you know, as capable as the primary one. And Gambit Youngsters is one of the primary examples, obviously talking a little bit earlier today about how they don't bring the double AWP. So I usually see it when they do play train, the very few times they do. And the double scouts in for LDLC for the moment. They're going to get quite aggressive with their pistols though, and that might just be the main focus of the CT side.
A lot of brown holes present so far on train for the T side of Fate. Not really seeing too much towards Ivy. A lot of the time it's just been brown holes control, leave a lurker towards either T-Con or the top of Pop, and then just execute to B. It's been pretty simple stuff so far coming out for the Bulgarian side. Still need to deal with this scout from Sixer, back of the red train over at this B bomb side. And once those smokes go down, he's going to be able to call out the rotations from his teammates. And pretty quickly, there's now 3 players here at this B bomb site.
Well, Patrick moving up with the AK, and Body gets that opening frag on Han, so that's something to be found, but a plant to be secured on default. As Patrick makes his way up, tries to look for the CT player that's up here on upper. Gonna make their way in without checking Summit. The headshot comes through, the second kill also the same. So 4 versus 3, a recovery frag does come back from Sixer though, and Blocker on the back of the bomb site here on the default position. Lamb's gonna make his way very noisily out to that position, and Afro will find a trade back. Smoke on the bomb site, he gets a 1 dig, he's got no kit, and that smoke landed a bit too far out. The Molotov coming in from Nicky should be able to force him off. No, it actually still lands in the midst of that smoke. The second molly out as Afro is forced out of position, and that's going to not win it out. It still lands in the smoke, but Afro hunting for the kill above the defuse here. And it's funny because if he was able to stick that, then he would have been able to win the round. So hindsight is 2020, but this match is 3-0.
Oh man, Nicky was like, come on, one of these Molotovs land. And we saw twice that the smoke was able to distinguish that molly. But Nicky just trying to bait out, you know, keeps jiggle peeking, keeps trying to get Afro to pick off the bomb. And we spoke about the double AWP setup just that last round, but it's actually Afro picking up the second AWP. So I wonder if that's because he wants to go for like a heaven play and he's going to play over towards the B bomb side. Yeah, we saw Lambert doing a fair bit in the last best of 3, but sometimes due to the different positions of where the site holders are, that's where we can see the AWP move around. And yeah, there it is. That's going to be the heaven player coming out.
Gope in, but having to back off immediately. Molotov coming in from the Fate side, and you mentioned the brown horse control a little bit earlier on, just the amount of it that they've had so far. Afro still playing quite aggressively and finds his peek in as well. Dropping off the ladder straight towards ramp, and a flick back on Patrick kicks things off for the CT side. Doesn't get much info though. They don't know how much else is left here for Fate. Smoke down, well, at least buy a bit of breathing room and a bit of cover for Mar to potentially enter. It looks like a flashbang is going to come through very soon here. Incendiary for Body as that smoke starts to clear, and you have to stall for time against this T-side force. They'll take some damage, but Han will get that off shot. Lambert finds one, but behind the stack. Flash to support, 2, 3. Oh, 4 kills! Not quite, actually. Body gets a Molotov frag, but it doesn't matter. 3 picks for him regardless. The spray was fantastic. LDLC get there first.
Ooh, okay, that's what we're talking about. That's some really nice work being done at the B bomb site, and it all really comes down to that timing. The flashbangs coming out, Lambert's just able to swing out, find so many kills with that M4. A great defensive hold of that B bomb site. And for Fate, they've got to be thinking, are we gonna like maybe go A? Like we just keep going B at this point. And for LDLC, well, that was a very strong hold, and that might give them a bit of an idea not to hit B again, but no, it's going to be the fast play into Brown Halls, and into the B bomb site. It's a rush.
Nade up, doesn't quite take out Patrick. The P250 trying to finish the job, but the MAC-10 jumping around the corner takes the man down. Nicky comes up onto Lambert as he responds to him. 3-on-3, Patrick's so low, but still gets the AWP aggressive, taking out Sixer, but as Blocker falls, it keeps us as even standing with the bomb out in the open. They've seen it for the CT side. Mar catches Body looking the wrong way, and Hadji is the last man left. 1-on-2 for the lone CT at CT spawn. This bomb just needs to get picked up and planted here by the Fate side, and Mar will recover it. Not quite as actively covered off by Patrick, but a bomb plant can come through for him.
Oh my goodness, and LDLC, they really don't think that they're going to get rushed to B. Because in the back of their mind, they're going, right, they've hit B, what, pretty much every single round in this the first half. Surely they're not going to hit B again. And it's just a rush that comes out. Even Mai pushing super aggressively with this bomb. They really want to try and figure out where Hachi is. Surely they must think now. Yeah, like, surely they must just think maybe we can go to B.
Oh, Ma, you for real. Okay.
Questionable, but I mean, it probably would have been a little bit smarter just to go for the bomb plan. I'm surprised they extend that far with the bomb, to be fair.
Well, you think about it, right? If he's holding back over at Ivy, keeping his eyes on CT spawn, hoping to get one of these kills back, you think that, yeah, maybe there's going to be a, you know, that maybe there's going to be like a chance that they'll lose control of that bomb and lose control of the round as a whole. But no, like, yeah, that was very awkward. I'm not a fan of that one. It works well for Fate, fair play, but even so, that could have been disastrous for the T side. Coming out here for the 5-7, Patrick, Blocker going to get those first 2 picks. Afro and Lambert running right into the play here. Bodyers get 1 pick back on the Deagle, dropping that bomb open for the CT side. They're going to see it. Will they be able to control it here? I mean, the nade's coming up, doing some damage to Patrick, and Nicky's already low. AK turn on the 6, so he does eventually fall. So Body just left alone to defend against this. The smoke will go down. They can pick up the bomb. They can rotate it eventually. And they should be able to secure 5 for Fate. I say that, and they are still finding a decent bit of damage. Unable to get the frag onto Nicky. Oh. Patrick falls though, but not able to hold on.
And Haji's just got to gamble this. Does he rotate B and see if he can cut him off? That's exactly what he's going to try and do, but he's only got 24 points of health. Oh, that was so down to the wire. Han going to be able to get the trade. And I tell you what, Jay, considering it's 5-1 up, I'm nervous for Fate at the moment because there's been some of these rounds that have really come down to the wire. It's just been a lot of aggression, to say the least, for the Bulgarians. I mean, again, we talk about Bulgarian style. It's fast, it's in your face. But for Fate, a lot of the time on the T side, it is pretty slow and methodical. And it's the aggression on the CT side that we see from them. But so far on Train, it's been so in your face.
Yeah, I mean, they've been gaining CT map control, like, all the way back so far as the spawn at certain points. And it's like, you know, LDLC are starting to realize and punish that. You know, they're pushing forward of their own accord. Fate are getting aggressive. They're expecting that they're going to be passive on this one because, you know, we can just take our style and just play it far forward enough. And then immediately getting shut down. I mean, consider the investment they had there in that last round. That was basically just pistols, PT-50s, 5.7s and such. They still got 4 players, almost clutched it there. If that spray had transferred to the head of the AWPer, that would have worked well there for Haji, but not to be in the end. He'll be part of the buy, and both economies will be weakened thanks to the damage that LDLC have done to Fate so far. The double orbs are out for Sixer and Lambert as well, so talk a lot about that setup on Train, and it's going to come to full fruition for LDLC. 1 player out over at Ivy, another interconnector. Got rifles across the entire board to try support it. Afro is the first casualty on ramp, though.
A great opening coming out again to the B halls. LDLC are having a really tough time at the moment because now they're thinking, okay, let's leave 2 at B. Like, how many defenders do we need to leave here? A lot of the time on Train on the city side, you're only leaving a single B defender, sometimes 2 at most. Haji, oh, he drops that bomb and he gets 2 kills. Sixer backs him up. What a hold coming out through Pop Dog.
What a peek from Fate. That was just 2 1v1s that he could take so easily. They didn't try and stack in on top of each other. At least not what I could see there. If they did, then they failed spectacularly. And the bomb going in first as well. Information and, of course, positional advantage with no real way back in, I think, for the T side. Lambert's going to start peeking up the AWP round of the corner. Flicks back towards Nicky. Scopes in, unable to take out Han, though. Han will trade it back, and now they know where he is. They know how to play against him. They'll keep Pop Dog control. Body's going to start pushing in here towards T-Con. And Han's best bet to save his AWP here. He's not clutching this round.
Absolutely not. 1v3, he's out of there. No bomb control. I'm just seeing if he can bring that AWP into the next round. And for LDLC, I mean, it's certainly going to be a difficult time for them to go hunting, considering the fact they don't really have a lot of money in the reserve. So they'll be pretty happy to say, you know what, you can keep your AWP. We're just going to hold on to our 3 rifles, bring it into the next round, double AKs and an AWP. And you're absolutely right. Something was certainly off about that Pop Dog drop, whether they missed the boost or whether they just peeked in 1 by 1. It's certainly not the best way to take Pop Dog, and, well, Hachi just absolutely destroys them for making that mistake.
Well, I'll tell you what's not a mistake. Hellcase. You can use code MaltaV and MaltaV15 to get yourself some free money and 15% on your refill bonus as well to open up some sick cases and get some sick skins. Looking real sick for LDLC at this moment. A big round to find. They're second on the board, which will really shut down the economy of Fate. The AK and AWP, of course, coming in from Mara and Han. The AWP being saved, the AK being force-born. It is a force back from the Fate side, but just baiting in the shots. Body already has information as to where they're playing from. On Ivy is where the majority of their presence will go. Sees him around the corner. Body gets caught off guard, actually. That's an M4 they can potentially use. Six are finding one good AWP pick. Flashbanging against him, though, forces him out. And they've got utility up. They're going to try and sandwich in Six, so he could fall down so easily. It's E-Box cross. Smokes up. Blocker takes him down. Haji finds a response out of the pop dog position. The bomb's getting picked up. Still a 3-on-2. Got CT man advantage. Afro against Han in particular. The face with the AWP gets the kill. The M4 does not see the man. They're going to make their way in from connector and try go back to the B-bomb site.
All Nicky needs is a bomb plan. Apps, just try and see if he can force into a 1-on-2. Nicky is so low, unfortunately, and you've got to think for Haji, he's in a great position to be able to establish a bit of a crossfire being set. Oh, on the position from Haji. This should be all over, and there it is. Third round coming up for LDLC, and unfortunately there for Fate, they tried to quickly go into the B bomb site in that 2-on-2, but it was Patrick, or no, I think it was Harm with the AWP that got caught off guard trying to rotate in through connector.
Priorities there for LDLC. Double up setup getting saved. And Fate with a bomb plant not going to be enough to force the buy here. I mean, they've already gone for a force buy in the last round. They've got to wait for one extra ticker loss bonus before they can really get going here with some heavy rifle investments. You can see the best that they're going to get is upgrade pistols, a bit of utility for Nicky. He's the biggest spender right now for Fate. They crown a whopping $1,000. So flash in a smoke. That's all they got here for Fate. Might be able to get a bomb plant if they rush down the site, but they're going to play the defaults out once again. Bit of aggression coming in from Nicky out of Olaf. He's got nothing. Body actually takes him down, so a simple kill coming in for LDLC to kick things off.
Tell you what, LDLC are actually looking pretty good on the city side of train. They're looking really confident in a lot of their duels, which is always a good sign to see when you're up against an opponent's map pick. Not afraid to try and take some of the gunfights. You can certainly see that Six has been able to hit some pretty sick shots with this AWP. And well, that's going to be 3 easy pickings out towards Ivy. 1 round is the deficit now for LDLC. And, you know, like you said, the buy's going to come through for Fate, and you've got to think, maybe just see if you can slow it down a little bit. We've seen a lot of aggression coming out, especially a lot of pressure towards Brown Halls. They've been successful in finding those opening picks, but maybe trying to slow it down and force LDLC to get aggressive and to try and make some mistakes.
Yeah, the opening picks is the main success point. It's everything else that is a problem right now for the T side. The double orbs are going to continue to make problems for Fate. Look at how aggressive Sixer wants to get as well. Like, not going to be able to spot anything out against Nicky here. But Afro also with his counter-aggression. Fate were not ready for this last time. They won't be ready for it this time as Blocker walks right into the taps, goes falling for it. Sixer getting Nicky next up, and Han and Ma are in a 2 versus 5. It's over already. Like, instantly, LDLC claim control.
That's such a sick play coming out from Afro and Body. So what actually happens there is Body's undetected because Afro's swinging by himself and he's just tapping away. He's firing. He's trying to bait in the swing. And as soon as the second player swings out for Fate, we see Body then going, oh, I'm here. By the way, yeah, look, there's 2 of us. So really for LDLC, it's a bait and switch setup to try and get the Fate aside to swing in to trade back. What a great round so far, and Ma and Han have got so much work to do. Not even a single kill. Every single player from LDLC finding a pick. 5-5. That is a sensational round from the Frenchman.
And I think they found a weak point that they can exploit here on LDLC. 5-all. And the rifles are back in against the Eco half-bought pistols of Fate. Looking towards max loss bonus at this stage, if my memory serves me correctly here. A little bit more compared to the last Eco round, but, you know, all LDLC really need to do to break this is just push up. If Afro gets aggressive now, I mean, he might get overwhelmed by the pistols, but you can already see Lambert is there in the brown halls with the crossfire set. Patrick first to fall. And Afro there with the incendiary, just going to stand by, check it, see in the legs. And falls back without putting the utility down. That may be a mistake, considering the utility is about to come in from the T side. Fate about to go for an execute. Can they get a bomb plant here? If they can do that, then that would already be a decent round for them. Incendiary up. They do dome the likes of Afro. Lambert Oh, response tag, not a kill with an incendiary missed out, so they can't take down Blocker just yet. Haji will get it, but meanwhile, Mars pushed up, he does get dealt with. So 4-on-2 situation now, LDLC still in control.
At least they get a bomb plant. That's what they're hoping for. Nahana and Nikki seeing if they can take a couple of extra players down with them. Nikki just trying to line up a flashbang. Unfortunately, completely blinds his teammate on the pig. And LDLC taking their time to get the retake through, but making sure that they're trying to not lose any players. The CZ going to be able to find one, not quite any more than that. So the defuse coming through, a 6th round up for the French side. And I'll tell you what, Jay, at least from what we saw from LDLC against Gambit Youngsters, the double AWPs really didn't find anything. They really struggled to find picks and success, whereas at the moment on Train, Sixer and Lambert are finding picks on a consistent basis.
A stark contrast. And sometimes they don't even need to step up is the best part about it, you know, like some of the
100%.
M4s are what's doing the most of the damage here for LDLC. And this CT side has so much variety behind it. You know, the setups are always different every single round. They can, you know, pocket aggression or just play passive if they wish to be. Another rush tactic coming in for Fate. A bit of an execution with some smokes going down, but a lot of open space for the Orb to work with. As Mar takes out Lambert, Nikki is going to be first casualty though, and Patrick pushing so far up towards Stopper. And he's going to catch one at the end of the smoke. Take down by Mar, and Patrick gets 2 picks back to the 3 versus 2 scenario now. Orb in the backlines over at A2. Nades on doing damage to the man on the bomb site, and I think LDLC may be considering the save here.
It's going to be a tough call to make, but the Six is still actually trying to walk aggressively. It looks like they're actually going to try and go for this. They're seriously running out of time. The Sixer needs to find something, and straight away, he's given away his position. That should be the call in. That should be throwing in the towel. Get the save through, save that AWP and M4 into the following round. And for Fate, well, we haven't really seen any aggressive and fast outside hits, but they work around the smokes. They get some great entries coming up, and the rotators, the Sixer and Afro, try and come in. They're too late to the party. They don't have the numbers game, and it will be Fate tying us up. At least Afro is able to take down Patrick and hold on to that M4.
Fate keeping us at even standing here. Managing to do so with pretty decent confidence as well. Wouldn't have recommended a rush tactic considering how much the aggression has really failed for Fate. But if it works, it works. They'll take a tactical pause as well to figure out. I think they also know that, you know, they can't keep doing that because LDLC are going to catch on to it. They've been able to exploit that aggression and shut it down so easily here. And Fate being tested quite a lot more than we were expecting here on Train.
Yeah, certainly, LDLC are putting up a really great fight, and again, I kind of want to say it was similar to Gambit Youngsters. It seemed like LDLC were certainly doing their homework. It didn't really get shown in the server because they weren't able to play their own game, but certainly we're seeing a lot of, you know, counter rotations and positions being held from LDLC to shut down a lot of these rounds, even though it's tied up at 6 apiece. You can certainly see that going into this, they've been able to understand the way that Fate play counter-aggression with aggression around that Brown Halls position and get those AWPs to have a lot of freedom. And going into a technical pause, a moment for both teams to, you know, take a breather because it's certainly been a close affair between them.
Of course, a small technical issue regardless for them, so they have to work on fixing that first and foremost. Hopefully we'll get specifics soon on what it actually is. For now, Fate and LDLC dead set even, but it hasn't looked that way. I think that the team looking most confident going into these first 12 rounds have been LDLC for me. You know, Fate haven't always been able to hit the mark. When they have, they've looked pretty good, but even then I can feel the struggle when they get those successful executions. When LDLC get around, it looks clean, confident, and coordinated.
No, I'm with you 100%. One thing to also take into consideration is the fact that if Fate were 5-1 up, you know, it was off the back of the pistol that they were able to get a bit of momentum. But when it comes to these rifle rounds, it certainly does look, you know, very good for LDLC. Yeah, we've seen a couple of mistakes in terms of utility, but that's kind of things that you can't kind of account for going into a matchup. Certainly when it comes to like the gritty things, when it comes to the rifle rounds, they have been able to hold relatively well. And some low numbers are being posted up, especially Han in particular, one of the biggest carries, I would say, one of the biggest performers for this Fate side. Only got 5 kills on the AWP. You want to repeat that one, Jay?
So we got the information on exactly what happened in the technical pause, that a player has spilt drinks on their mouse pad. Not even their equipment, their mouse pad. Like, do you understand?
Classic.
Like, do you understand? Here's the thing: like, you can replace a keyboard and you can replace a mouse, but how many people have spare mouse pads? You know,
I do.
Oh, you do, really?
Yeah.
I don't have any spare mouse pads. I threw all my ones out. So
always, you never know. I always, you know, I rock 2 keyboards, 2 mice, 6 mouse pads because you never know. You absolutely
that's
never
the
know.
thing, right? That's the thing, right? Because the thing you expect to break the most is the keyboard and the mouse. You
Yeah.
have spares for that. But with a mouse mat, how often do you expect them to break your mouse mat? Like, that's almost impossible, unless, of course, you spill drinks on it. So, moment to get that cleaned up. I don't know what the solution is on that respect. Maybe they do have spare mouse mats. You never know. I don't have any insight in that respect. But either way, we're getting back into round 13. Fate currently playing out a more spread default here towards the Brown Hills apartments and also in Ivy. A bit of passiveness from Han, expecting T-Con control to come from LDLC. This looks like a 3-pronged attack into the A-bomb site.
We haven't really seen this kind of a setup coming out from Fate before, and well, DLC, Haji wants to try and take the fight, but he loses the opening pick at 6'. He's still very aggressive around E-box.
Have to fall back there eventually. The T's putting too much pressure on them, and they made their way out to Ivy uncontested into A2. They have no idea that Nicky's here. Afro will be second to fall. Mars on site towards Stopper. Body making his way in at the wrong moment here. Sixer will get one good pick back, but unable to deal with the second. So Lambert's left alone towards the Brown Hills entrance, and that's more like the confidence I hope to see from Fate. Going to take the lead back away from LDLC. And 4 players staying alive, and you know, we talk about the clean, confident, coordinated sort of the defensives here from LDLC and the way that they play that for their 6 rounds. For Fate, that was looking much more coordinated than they have so far.
And that was a really nice set piece. You could see that in terms of the positions of where everyone was going, that they've run that over and over again, just going back to basics, going, right, let's just go to what we dry run in the scrims. Let's go to what we've done, you know, in previous games. We set ourselves up for a 3-prong attack. They got the Pop Dog presence, T-Con and Ivy. They all work really nicely. They get Nicky in towards the back lines, towards the back of Old Bomb. He's able to pull a distraction away when he gets an opening kill, and it allows the rest of Fate to push around those smokes, get some great map control in the middle of the site. And well, Lambert, all of his teammates went down. He stays onto that AWP. They will be able to get a buy going forward, but that's more like it from Fate. That looked probably one of the most convincing rounds we've seen from them yet.
The only thing that didn't look good was the post plant. In the end, they gave up 2 1v1s to the AWP and cost themselves quite a bit of cash. And LDLC did a great job in that earlier best of 3 series of limiting the economy state of Gambit youngsters. Maybe the same thing against Fate, then it could look a lot more awkward of a matchup here from the Bulgarians. Oh, look at Hart, straight out with his aggressive peek against Afro. The man goes down, and they have essentially established B-side control from here. LDLC forced back by smokes to press back behind the main walls here. Nades will go close, but Body's tagged up. The bomb plant's been secured. A 5-on-4. If they can't get anything in the next few seconds, they might just look to save, and that might be their best play.
Look, the T's have got a player now wrapping Old Bomb and a player wrapping in Connector that's just gone down to Patrick. I don't see there being a possibility that this retake comes through. Block is in such a great position. There's still so much utility to work with. Amar's going to shut this round down. He's going to be the linchpin, but they don't even need him. They're finding all the kills relatively easily. And, well, for Fate, that's a ballsy call. They had 3 players to execute to the B bomb site off the back of Harm picking up that opening kill. Then they had 2 lurkers to try and cut off the rotators.
It was an efficient opening kill, though, for him, so credit where it's due, because I think without that confidence or the stance into the ramp position, they wouldn't have been able to do much with that round at all. But the lead being taken by Fate and the half now being secured on the T side, which is not a good sign for LDLC. So they go to that final round of the half. Could see a 7th come through for the CTs nonetheless, but the buy is very broken here. Look at Afro slow facing. He recognizes that this is where the aggression worked so well before, and he's going to establish himself towards the stairs area once again alongside Sixer. They're lining up, they're spraying through, they're doing damage. Sixer gets 1 good kill, but he will be traded back. So quite a bit of value being gained by the SMG, taking a rifle out for his trouble.
And very aggressive setup coming out from LDLC. 3 players tried to push the upper brown halls there, but for Fate, they're now starting to give up on that control. Maybe try and split them through Pop Dog, try and see if they can take Body down. But in a 4-on-4, look how much utility they've actually baited out from the CT side.
Just down to 4 flashbangs between Lambert, Afro, and Body. They've still got execution potential across the T-side board with Molotov, smokes, and flashes to spare. 55 seconds to the hit now. Fate, established brown halls in the apartments, no IV control. I think they read onto this information as well here. Body. Haji's going to get down Mar for a decent frag out to the T-con area, the only lurker that they had back over there. Now it's up to Blocker, Han, and Patrick. Several of them are tagged up very heavily as well. Patrick, bomb on site, going to try something and secure a plant here. Afro's going to have to lead the charge for the retake, and they can backstab in on this one. This is not a good position for Fate.
It's going to be a really difficult one, especially it all just comes down to timing. Oh, but Han actually sees Body through the smoke, but does he expect Hachi to be here? 2 players aggressing up through Pop Dog, and he's the unknown element.
Blocker gets aggressive, gets Lambert, Afro gets a headshot, and the AUG starts making their way in. Are they expecting this upper play? Apparently they're not, but the counter backstab coming in from Han here with the AWP. Scope up. AUG takes him down. It's all left to Patrick. 1 on 2. CT making his way out. Afro crossing. Did they see him? No, they didn't. But Patrick's still got a bit of an open plant right here. Defuse being stuck in the midst of the smoke. Haji's got it. Haji's got it. He's got 10 seconds. Patrick has a second chance. But Afro's got his man's back. Takes that final frag and takes a 7th for LDLC to close the half.
Okay, well, I'm actually very impressed with LDLC. I certainly, yeah, I mean, you can make the statement, oh, you know, it's a CT-sided train. They might struggle going into the second half, but considering that they put up as good of a performance as they did, it certainly gives some really good signs for them in this best of 3 that, you know, maybe it won't be as easy for Fate as most people expected. You look at the old Salute Bet, our great partners, our great, you know, opportunity to get involved into some really nice punts. 1.24 for the Fate side, so they still are the favorites. If you do want to get involved in those great odds, you can check out the link below the Twitch channel for all their little extras only at LootBet. But so far, Jay, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with LDLC.
Absolutely. Considering that earlier best of 3, I had written them off for this group. Fate right now are being tested heavily by their opposition. USP is out, Body peeks in, gets Nicky down. So once again, the T-side are going to start things off pretty well. We're in the pistols. Can they convert the pistol round, though? They've got the man advantage. Aggression has come in from the CT side to respond to it. Out T-con for, I think that's Han and Mar there. Han going to face around the corner. Lambert's ready to cut this off, but his teammate in Body could be the first player to be received. Blocks out, takes a fight, and loses it by the skin of his teeth. Body can respond, take a pick back of his own, and still expecting more aggression here from the Fate side. They're not done just yet, but things go quiet for the moment.
It all just comes down to timing here now for the Fate side, whether they want to continue the aggression. We already saw Han getting taken down in the trade. Man advantage is still here for LDLC. But Fate are actually probably in a really great position. They've stacked 2 players at this B bomb side. And by the looks of things, LDLC are going to try and make their way. Oh no, that's the bomb dropped. How has this managed to happen?
That's massive time stalled as well. 35 seconds, and Mar's going to continue facing forward. If they're not ready for him to be right around this corner as soon as they take face, then this is going to be a very ugly rest of the round for LDLC. 25 seconds, he's set up on top of the wood scaffolding. Is there a flashbang? Yes, there is. He'll face away from it, take face, take Hachi, not get Afro, but he's got all the info he needs. 6 are coming in from Ivy, tapping desperately to get a pick back from Patrick. Knows the block is close and gets the headshot for a 2K recovery, but that could have been disaster for LDLC. 8 all on this board here. The T side just come out on top.
Oh, that was a little bit too close for a call, mate. That was really down to the wire. Mar did such a great job, but unfortunately, LDLC, they bring that back, and it looked like they were setting themselves up for a B play. They had a lurk out towards Ivy, they had the Brown Halls control, but instead, the bomb just gets dropped in the middle of nowhere, and, well, for Fate, unfortunately, they're not able to hold onto a great opportunity. They do force the issue going into round 17, so it could be their reward finding this round.
Was forced by back from Fate. SMG and a scout in for Blocker and Patrick respectively, and Blocker's got the 1 SMG here towards top of White. Addy's going to see him and he falls back out. See the Deagle as well, and easy kills coming in for those 2 players. So Unfortunate for the CT side, not much can be done there with the force buy, and it will be a 9th for LDLC to reclaim the lead here on T side. Good shot from Patrick, unable to get the kill against Body. Barely gets out of dodge at 4 HP. Still obviously getting a pick back on the man, so you know, finishing off the job that he had started. But again, to save the Kevlar, to save the weapon, get something in the bonus here for the situation, for the eco situation, I should say. LDLC for now will claim an advantage.
Okay, well, this is, I mean, the French side going up in the lead going into the second half, and I've got to be honest, Joe, I certainly didn't think that if they were going to get the lead, you know, maybe it'd be the pistol, it would be like, you know, 5-6 rounds into the game. I certainly did not think that they would be in the lead going this deep. And for any of the viewers that were here for week 2 of the Malta Vibes, you would have seen LDLC getting a 14-16 loss on train against Simon in that first upper bracket best of 3. And then the lower bracket game against Budapest 5, it went to double OT or triple OT on train for the last map to qualify into the playoffs. So we've certainly seen for LDLC that they've been able to put up some pretty good performances, at least in recent times, only 2 weeks ago in the Malta Vibes. Hey, you've got to think they've got a lot of momentum and they're playing with a lot of confidence at the moment.
Spray through on Body as he gets aggressive, and the team is trying to spot all that they can. 3 picks going their way, mostly untraded. Body just barely gets away on 1 HP. Just be dealt with by Hadji as he faces up. Look at the damage done overall to this T side. I mean, Hart doesn't even need the Zeus from here. You can take out his regular pistol and possibly get 3 kills. I'm going to try to do here as well. He's been heard by Afro. He knows he's there somewhere. Going to wait and bait. Try to get a good Zeus kill. Afro being seen there, and Han having to run back and try bait in one of the T side forces to give up their lives. But even if they do, it's probably going to be an SMG that falls into his favor. Not much of anything that was lost there for LDLC. And the rebuy needs to come through from Fate here on their first rifle of this here half. Mac 10 deals the damage. And there you go. Fate, enough money to go for the rifles. Let's see what they can do.
And get that AWP in the hands of Han as quickly as you can. And yeah, there it is, the investment coming through. Now, they did have an opportunity of getting another AWP glass cannon, but they're going to opt against it and just have the M4s to work with. I wonder whether Lambert's actually going to upgrade this Mac 10 or whether he just decides to hold on to it. Looks like he's going to hold on to it. The economy looks relatively strong for the LDLC side, but they need to continue this pressure. They need to be able to put the pressure back on the Fate side. Nades start coming out to the mid-bomb, and it takes down Mar. That's a great opening. 3 nades to come out from LDLC.
Start and a half right now for them. Blocker taking damage as well. And when did Train become T-sided is the new question I'm asking myself here. LDLC are currently making good work on this, with Fate having established as a good presence there on their offensive half. Blocker going to aggress, and he gets taken out at low HP. So 5-on-3 situation. The aggression from Patrick is the only thing they got to work with. Could bracket in the Ivy players, take down the bomb, but I'm imagining that Six is going to check this, and as they lean back in towards T-Con, they have to clear his position.
It all just really comes down to the timing, whether we actually see Patrick overextending. Six is almost ready for some sort of aggression. Needs to make sure that they're checking the angle. But 5-on-3 for LDLC, this, as long as they take down Patrick, this round's over. Yeah, there it is.
And Nicky, only thing standing, he's got to get 2 frags, including getting the bomb planter and holding off for 40 extra seconds. Does find Afro, but doesn't get the kill on him. Han will get Lambert over on Ivy, so that's at least a consolation frag and a way back in, but they now know where both of the CTs are at, so they can just push that bomb into the B-bomb, so get that bomb plant, bend off whatever retake Fate want to throw at them, which probably is not going to be much of a retake at all. As Nicky gets body, well, see some couple of frags coming through, but Nicky falls, and Han left alone with the AWP getting 2 kills. And any more he gets here, probably going to be a consolation prize. He hasn't even got a kit to even go for this defuse.
You've got to think, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, right, if I go for this, this could be big, but if I save, you know, we're not going to have anything in the next round, and I'll tell you what, Jay, he is running out of time, but he has turned it into a 1-on-1.
Han's not taking aggressive face out of upper, he's just going to wait back. Sixer, let's keep his AK in check. And this man's going to have to fall out and save on the AWP, as you mentioned. Nothing to work with for Fate in the next round, so having that weapon does at least give a little bit of an opportunity. 11-8 though. LDLC are really leading the charge now, and they're probably going to extend that lead even further. For Fate to lose their map pick, this would be a concerning sign for them. We're sort of talking about who's coming into this one as the weakest, and you know, Fate right now, they're looking like they are the weakest ones in show.
They really are. You've got to think tactical pause needs to be coming in at some point. We haven't seen a single CT round coming up for Fate yet in the second half. Yeah, they've got that AWP that they can at least try and work with to do some damage on the back of Harm, but it's going to be a lot of utility out to this outer bomb site, and straight away they found a lot of aggression. That's a missed smoke actually that came out for the tease. I think there was an E-box smoke that was supposed to be lined up that actually missed. That actually allowed Harm to get aggressive.
A 4-on-4 situation, LDLC. I see a little bit more resistance out from the CT cam, but as Han falls, their main weapon's taken out of the bomb site. With Afro getting blocker as well, leaves it on 2 now. Orb recovered for Patrick, and that's just got to go back. Oh no, it actually goes off the bomb planter here. Looking for a second frag, but missing his shot. Diego back in, Body's just got to get that bomb and plant it because he's on such low HP. They do drop Nicky, so the Orb is the only thing left here for Patrick. And again, it may be better to save, to have a bit of a bonus going into the rifles.
Even him trying to save is going to be difficult. When he's made his way into this Olaf position, he's going to be seen if he escapes back out through T-Con. LDLC just seeing where he is. They've got an idea. He must be around this T-Con, you know, sandwich Olaf position. He's actually sneaking through. Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, shut down by the end of it. I would have thought he would have been able to get an exit frag, maybe a knife kill. It would have been fantastic if he was able to get the extra money for his team, but not to be. The double orbs will still get bought by Fate though, so Blocker and Han better be ready to step up to the plate here. They need some big rounds on the board. They're yet to start on CT side. LDLC have the lead, they have the momentum, they have full control over everything, and this round victory here could put them close and in touching distance of the map here.
It certainly could do. These double orbs, what can they find? Already a tag coming out to Body, and well, that Molly's going to be able to take him down. He looked to try and go further ahead, but after getting tagged up, an easy kill to come through for the Fate camp. And well, from there, it's been a while since we've seen an opening man advantage go the way of the Bulgarians. Now they can work with this, play the numbers game, play passive on the site, and work together to establish some crossfires.
Haji next to fall here. Fate establishing control. He smoked down against Afro, so he can't make his way in from Pop Dog. He'll still try for it though. Slowly and carefully with his AK out. Lambert and Sixer looking to potentially join him or take Brown Walls. It looks like it will be the latter of those options. Afro have much of an A-site presence here. The best he's got is just his peek in. Might catch Mara off guard if he's not looking the right way at the right time. He does check it though and sees Afro popping out. It's a simple kill with a headshot now. Sixer and Lambert out from ramp. Both players to make their way into the B-bomb site. Blocker's got Sixer, so Lambert's all that remains. One quick headshot found. One player at the back of the site. If we put that Molotov on the summit, then he would have been able to get the kill. But instead, Nicky finds his 2K, and Fate find a 9th.
Okay, well, look, very great round coming out from Fate. They looked very impressive, and it all really comes off the back. They found the opening pick. Something that Fate have struggled with for a lot of these rounds in the second half is finding an opening advantage. They find the opening kill out towards Body of the Olaf position, and from there, they're forcing LDLC to take some fights. Some really great exchanges looking in towards that Pop Dog. And for LDLC, now we spoke about if they were able to go up to 13, you know, they could be looking at trying to close out this map. But now Fate, they've been able to find a response.
Nicky gets Afro. Starting things off again on the aggression denial. T's getting aggressive towards the IP presence as well, and they also get punished for it. Patrick with that kill before being traded. Body and Lambert do respond to a 3-on-3. And the aggression goes passive. They're hoping to get a man advantage in this one, but it's not quite going to work out for them. The T's will rotate out towards the Brown Horse here.
This is actually a complete over-rotation from Fate. They have no one on B, so I expect that Blocker's probably going to go back just to see if he's got a bit of information, because they don't have any at the moment. A bit of a weird play coming out from LDLC. The fact that we see the aggression coming up, it's a 3-on-3, and they kind of slow down. So there's certainly an opportunity for Body to sell some sort of lurk to this A bomb site, commit the bomb over to B. But they're still making their mind up. They're not really sure what they want to do at this point.
Uncertainty from LDLC, and that uncertainty will punish them as Lambert gets pushed in by Mart, taken down over a Pop Dog. Han gets Body next up, Six the last man standing. Knows that Pop is being contested. Molotov out, Mart's gonna still take his face in, couldn't quite get the frag, gonna get forced to fall back out of the fire. And Six are being seen by Harnozy on top of the blue train. The peak should come through. No, we actually didn't see him, but in the end they now know. And 10 seconds left for him. Six has got no chance of winning this round. Can't secure the bomb plant. Can't take the players down in time, and they're going to converge in and take him down after time if they can. I think he's just going to avoid that fate here, so... 10 to the fate board. All right, LDLC being contested once again.
Ooh, okay. It looks like we've got a bit of a game on our hands here. We saw a great start off the back of the pistol round coming out from LDLC, but now it's 2 in a row from Fate. Now, they haven't been able to get the double orbs out, but you have a look at the buy from LDLC and you think, right, they were able to hold on to the AWP from Sixer, but for the rest of them, they're only going to be half buying into this. So in the following round, they'll have rifles and Sixer won't.
Much slower from LDLC in these latest couple of rounds here. They're trying their best not to lose the opening frags. Probably because they've got a bit of a weird misbuy on Six's part of things, the AWP. And a half by eco round from LDLC. Native blocker. Oh, that did so much more damage than it looked like it should have done. Lambert down, Sixer, Body Haji all tagged up. It's not a good look for LDLC.
It really is not, and well, unfortunately for Six, they're already being tagged up with 2 nades. Patrick's going to be able to take down Afro, and well, from here, I mean, look at the aggression that's already come out, and that was from T-Con from Patrick. He's now in the back lines. There's nothing LDLC can really do. Maybe a couple more kills. Body's picked up an AWP, and he's dead.
Double orbs for free.
Nice.
Fate continuing to stack up here, trying to overtake LDLC, and they may have a chance right here. They're going to go for the investment despite the weird misbuy in that last round. I think Six is just going to have to pay for his misbuy. The AK is in, the Galil out for Afro, the rifles in check across 4 of the 5 T-side members, and LDLC will be looking to do some damage here. Six has got to play a bit more of a supportive role. Has a Tech 9 at least, and a full set utility, but to use that utility to set up his teammates. The AWP, look at how aggressive Blocker wants to get here. Flashbangs out, past the end of the boxes, he's not checking the right way at the right time, so Haji can take him down. And are they going to rush B from here?
They're setting themselves up like they want to, but the rotates have already come out pretty quickly for the Fate side, so this could be like a bit of a fake or a double pump setup to see if they can pull rotations out to this B bomb side. And you'd have to think for Blocker, you know, yeah, I really like the aggression on the City side, but that was so damn aggressive. And here comes the pump. They're going to go in. Oh, but Nicky denies it. He gets 2 big kills.
Out from Upper. Now 4 versus 3 can ensue. He gets out of dodge. They would have heard that. They're going to make their way in towards the A bomb site. Lambert seeing one towards the bomb site. Patrick gets him down. Afro falls to Han. The bomb's been dropped. Six has pinned to Pop Dog. And there's a 1 versus 4 for him. He's got no chance. And what could have been a great way in for LDLC, punishing the over-aggression of the AWP. It just took 2 frags for Nicky to turn it all back around.
Oh my goodness, that's an unbelievable round from Fate. I'm, you know, very surprised the fact that, you know, Blocker, he is a very aggressive CT-sided player, but the fact that, you know, even if he got 1 kill, it would have been a 1-for-1 trade and would have just given up that secondary AWP. From there, LDLC, they have an advantage, and Nicky makes a solo play. He aggresses out from heaven, takes a couple of players down, and forces LDLC to make a play to the A bomb side, and the crossfires are just being set. you've got to think that momentum that LDLC had is no longer there. It's been chucked over to the Bulgarians. This is now going to be 4 rounds in a row from them. They're starting to build up their bank. The double AWPs are finding impact. And for LDLC, this is going to be another round where they've got this weird economy state because Six is going to be saving on to yet another AWP.
Yeah, the economy just seems to have crumbled here for the T side and not looking good for them as the end result. Another eco around this saved AWP, and there's just not much they can do with it. I mean, if they could force buy, then great, but the fact that they just can't do that with the money line being where it's at, concerning times for the T side. Smoke down. Han's going to get himself 2 good picks. Body and Hadji do respond back, but it is Patrick left to clean up the frag on Hadji. Body falls next. Up Sixer gets a good frag with his AWP, but he needs to get a bomb plant. They want to try and regain the money situation here. Unblocker will just shut him down. So damage done at the very least to the TT side, but the money is bolstered for Fate, so it's not going to mean much, and they have regained the lead.
They recover that secondary AWP, which is obviously massive in the fact that LDLC are able to do a fair bit of damage. They take 3 players down. The most vital element in that last round is that Fate are able to pick up that secondary AWP. They don't have to reinvest it. They can keep their bank strong. And you've got to think, like, where's the tack here for LDLC? Where's the moment where we go, right, we've just lost, what, 4 or 5 rounds in a row. It's getting out of control. We need to get a hold of this situation because Fate have taken the lead and they're looking really dominant at the moment. They're looking the best they've looked at all in this map.
13-12. Mar against Afro, smoke down to keep his eyes on. And the aggression from the CT is just going to amplify their confidence at this stage. LDLC's confidence must have fallen off the edge of a cliff at some point. 5 rounds in a row on this T side now to losing control of the lead against Fate, and they need to find a response quick, else they're going to have a hard time as time goes on.
Slowing it right down. Double nades coming out to the pop dog position, trying to see if they can at least do some damage onto Nikki. Unfortunately, only 50 points of health hasn't granted them an opening pick. And they're going to start to work this Ivy pressure. We've seen Sixer and Lambert with the bomb. They've got the AWP to work an opening kill, to work the pressure and gain that map control. They've actually backed off to get Afro to join with him to have a 3-man Ivy presence. This is going to be another 3-prong attack into the A bomb side. We saw Fate doing this on the T side. Now it's LDLC's time.
Patrick looking on, sprayed through, doing damage to 2, but not getting any picks. Sixer and Body there with the frags to their name. Han still here with the AWP, almost lands up a clap, doesn't get any frags for it. Those are the player out. T-Con, nice no scope on Afro, but that's the only pick it seems that they're going to get on the CT side. Blockers left to save, and LDLC will come back in at evens here.
Oh, just when you think they're done, they come right back out of the graves. That's a huge round from LDLC. The way that they're able to isolate the players on the site into looking in complete different directions. And it seemed like for Fate, the protocol just really wasn't there to shut it down. They seemed like they were all out of position, rotating around. Once that triple prong setup came through, the Ivy, the T-Con, and the Pop Dog presence, and just the entries, very, very nice. Body in particular. And for Blocker, well, he's going to save that AWP into the next round. They're going to be able to get a buy, but that's giving LDLC a 13th and tying us back up once again.
Even standing. Once again, this is a big, big round for LDLC to find. If they can find another one after that, then Fate are going to be in a really dire spot. Economy looking low. They have got the double orbs back out. The SMG for Patrick is the most obvious sort of factor to how much the economy has been limited. First contact established by the AWPs, Hadji in particular, out to the T-Con area. And Han and Ivy will try and aggress here. Fate are looking for some awkward positions for LDLC to crumble from.
And I'll tell you what, as soon as Fate overextend this Ivy presence, as soon as they actually look further ahead from where they are, they'll get a lot of information that it's probably not going to be an A play if there's no Ivy presence. We've seen these HEs towards Brown Halls doing a lot of damage in the past, not quite this time around. And for Fate, they've got a gut feeling. They're actually rotating Mara over to back up a B. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's not good. So we've hit a bit of a technical snag, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get this fixed at a moment's time here. But as you mentioned, you know, the setup for LDLC was leaning towards that B bomb site. You know, it seems like Fate have sort of failed in a number of occasions over on that B bomb site. And you know, in that respect, I can see a way in which that maybe they could, the execution could go well. The main thing for me, obviously, is the fact that victory going the way of LDLC probably turns the tide of the matchup.
Yeah, look, it certainly does, and it's really been down to the wire for both of these teams on train, and I think it's very exciting to be able to have such a close back and forward series because, you know, the winner of this is going to advance into the playoffs, and the loser, well, they won't. So for LDLC, you've got to think, you know, they were so close in week 2, and they went into OT on the last map to qualify to the playoffs. They didn't quite do it. Fate, and they've gone into the grand finals last week. So I would certainly say for LDLC, it probably means more for them to at least get into the playoffs over a team like Fate. You know, they're the underdogs going into this, and they've got a lot to prove.
Indeed, they do, you know, and I think that for both teams right now, they have something that they absolutely have to prove. I think that's an applicable sort of thing to both sides. You know, obviously with you know, LDLC have never made it into the playoffs on Malta Vibe, so they've already got a couple of issues in that respect, and they're looking to try and make their first playoff run, and this would be the perfect chance for it as well. Were in this position back in week 2 as well when they were up against I believe it was Aves in their group, if memory serves me correctly. I should double check that. Let me
For LDLC
for you
or for Fate.
No, LDLC. It was Budapest 5, I should say. So
yeah.
I got it mixed up a little bit. But you know, for Fate, they've obviously made grand finals as well in week 3. So you know, it's a case of one team who's not made it quite as far, and a team looking to recapture the magic from the first time around. So you know, it's very different situations, but equally as important sort of justification for both teams to win the matchup outright.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And for Fate, you know, they might be a little bit disappointed that they weren't able to take home, you know, that sweet boot camp that the winners get in each week of the Malta Vibes, being brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home in gaming excellence. They've been able to, you know, help us out in terms of the prize pool, you know, helping us out with, you know, a fantastic stay for the teams and for the players to be able to get a boot camp at their choice. I believe it's this year or next year. They've got quite some time to use it. So
I'd imagine it'll be sometime next year based on the current
yeah, I can imagine.
situation.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, I certainly think there's, you know, there is no better prize than a boot camp, because there's a lot that you can learn at boot camp.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, and especially in a place like Malta. Like, imagine boot camp.
Yes,
there. Dude, I'd love just to sit in the sun and play CS all day. Like, that'd just be fantastic.
Sit in the sun and play CS? Like,
yeah, mate.
You think you're gonna be outside? Like.
Well, no, but I mean, you know, there'd be windows, I'm sure. Like, I've realised my curtains are always closed back there, but, you know, like, it's one of those things, you know, like, I make an exception for Malta.
Okay, all right.
So, Fate won that last defensive, unfortunately, for LDLC. You know, the B-site hit did not go as well as they would have wanted to be. And it looks like 4 players stayed alive for Fate as well. So they were in a good spot. You know, that buy was so awkward as well. So the fact that they were able to take control of that, that's a pretty good shout right now.
And, well, in that last round, no bomb plant coming out for the LDLC camp means that Lambert's going to be forced up on a Galil. AKs for the rest of them, and an AWP out for 6 up. And you've got to think, right, for LDLC, they were off to a really good start in the second half on the T side. They went up 5-0, and we've seen a big streak of rounds now coming in for Fate, and they've certainly started to take control of the situation.
To maintain control as well, because LDLC are on the verge of shutting it back down, and both economies could be on for force buys in the waning few stages of this map up here. Body out towards Old Hill, will spray through, do some damage, but more damage returned to LDLC. The nade on from Patrick takes the man down. Afro up here with the AK trying to face out of E-Box, get another trade back 6 and finds Patrick, but him and Haji fall low. They still get a second kill for it, so 4-on-3 situation. Skalil's move up and Han goes down. Blocker catching Lambert, dropping that bomb, seeing Haji on the bomb site, gets us back to a 2 versus 2, and looking towards Cross without AWP is about to face for Sixer. Not catching him, not seeing him just yet as a player also close in. Afro seen and sprayed. Blocker's doing so much here to stall for time, look for the kills. May look to get a 3K in for him, will make his way up to heaven as the AUG of Nicky locks off the cross, looks for Afro, takes him down. Sixer, the only player left standing for the CT side, oh, sorry, for the T side, I should say. And Fate, one more pick away from that point.
Oh, Sixer's got so much work to do, and they had so much teammate support, but unfortunately for Fate, they are able to get some really nice picks between Blocker and Nicky. And for Sixer, what's the play here? Oh, Blocker, all timing. What just happened there? Does he see him rotating to B? But Sixer, he's not going to go to B. He's going to go, what is going on here? He keeps trying to fake where he's going.
Trying to pull the mind games against Fate. They think he is going back to B, but they're going to keep that one player back at Ivy. The plant towards default now should secure it. They should know what's going on. The AWP facing around, trying to catch that man off guard. He swoops in, takes him down. 2 kills for Sixer. Could he find himself another big clutch here in our best of threes? He found one in the pistol earlier on against Gambit Youngsters, an overpass, and the AWP here to the rifle round to deny map point for Fate. Round the corner, looking for Blocker. Back turn, shot connecting. And Sixer, his mind games work, his aim game works. It's 14-all, we've got a full 30-round distance, and Fate are not allowed map point just yet.
Oh, he's back, boys. He's back. That was such a nice clutch coming out from Sixer. That was just so well played. And you look at the money line for Fate and you think, right, few players can buy, not everyone can, so this is probably going to be a half buy to play for OT, you would expect. This is an opportunity for LDLC to go up 15-14. The only problem with that last round is that because it's Sixer clutching out a 1vx, it means that only one player survives. So in terms of the economy basis, the T side don't have a lot of money to work with. Oh, they're forcing Fate.
Indeed they are. It's going to be a dangerous force buy, but one that may be necessary. It's either that or play for overtime. The AWPs in the MEKs, and of course the Galillion for Afro with the Mac 10 for Lambert. The force buy back from Fate will look a little bit worse. The AWP's also out for Harm, but M4's for Mara and Nicky with a FAMAS for Patrick and SMG for Blocker. So LDLC overall out on top, and the Mag 10 actually is not even in that bad of a position. There's no head Kevlar for Fate, so might as well just be a short-range rifle. LDLC look to go quick into the B-bomb site. Flashbang is all they're going to commit out here as Body enters, sees the AWP in the back line. Han gets him down, Blocker gets Afro, looks under the second man, Body will drop him. So 2-for-1 trades, they can secure a bomb plant. It's all to retake now for the CT side. Body will find us at 3-on-3.
Oh, and you've got to think as well, they've got a player towards the top of Pop Dog of Haji. If he takes down Nicky, this could be the round going their way, but Nicky's actually able to read it. But Body is still finding picks. 3 for him in the round, and he needs 2 more. It's on for the 2-on-2, and it all comes down to timing. Who's going to push this smoke first?
Will the smoke fade, and who's going to see who first? Who's going to pull the trigger finger? Body turns away, and he walks right into Patrick. Back turn. It's all to Sixer in another 1 versus 2 for LDLC. He clutched this last round. He's going to start well and clutching it for this one. 1v1 against the AWP, and Sixer does it again.
How many times can you bow down to Sixer? Because he just keeps clutching another huge round, a 1v2 coming out. Oh, the double scope in onto Patrick. That was nice. Absolutely beautiful. And you know how many times we question these force buys from Fate? And we always say, oh, we don't like it. We just gut feeling don't like it. They've now forced in that last round, so they've got nothing. They've got absolutely nothing to bring into round 30. They're going to have SMGs out, maybe some Deagles, a scout if they want to go glass cannon on Mar. Man, this is going to be a rough buy for Fate.
Fate needed to come out on top in that one. They absolutely needed to. They could lose their map pick at 16-14. We had a 16-14 victory in the last map, and now we can see it turn the other way, and for Fate's pick as well. You can take a look at Inferno, obviously the pick of LDLC, and it's not a great map for Fate, so they better pull out miracles or somehow find their way into overtime. They're out for force by 2 SMGs, but 3 pistols for the CT side. Deagles and P250s across Marhan and Nicky. And Nicky's going to regress with his P250. Look for Afro first, take him down. That's a good start for Fate.
Well, they pick up an AK. That's an unbelievable start. Even Blocker's getting very aggressive towards these brown halls, but after finding that opening pick, they decide to fall back. LDLC, where do they go from here? They can just go for a pretty simple execution over to that B bomb site or the A bomb site rather than just continuing the default, considering the lack of utility for the Fate side. And they're going to know they're on a rough bite.
Minute to go. Nikki watching from the Olof position. Expecting T-Con comparisons in control, but LDLC are not pushing it. A re-smoke will go down towards Pop Dog, so Hanji's going to be suppressed. LDLC looking ropey from the man advantage alone here. They have to get this execution to work well. The SMG cross-firing alongside the Deagle here towards Ivy. Sixer slow facing because he realizes that this aggression could well be in check, and if they do concede to Ivy control, they lose the round. We go to overtime. 25 seconds, face in, SMG spotted. Patrick on 46 HP, body back around the corner, takes his spray, takes his kill. Han finds one, but Mara and Nikki go down. 3-on-2 situation. LDLC breaking into the A bomb site, and Fate with a difficult retake. A Galil and a Deagle. The HP is low for the T side. For Fate, it's possible, but it'll be difficult.
Oh, this is going to be such a difficult retake coming in. They need to make sure they're finding these picks and they're finding them quickly. They need to try and work together, Blocker and Han, establish some sort of crossfire, establish the synchronization, and already they've spotted out a player. Body incredibly low as well as Sixer, but they're running out of time, Jay.
Ticking by, no kits. Blocker finds Lambert. Body goes down, and Sixer falls as well.
Have they got
Do
it?
they have time for this? There's no kit. Han's got to stick 10 seconds, but I don't think he's got the time for this one.
They don't.
They're out of it. Are they? They are. 16-14. LDLC are going to steal Fate's map pick of Train. What a massive result for the Frenchman.
Oh my goodness, what an upset coming out from LDLC against the team that made it to the grand finals last week in Malta Vibes. They've taken a map over in the best of three, not even just a map in general, their opponent's map pick on Train. Honestly, I'm astounded. I am just shell-shocked. I cannot believe that LDLC have let that happen. And it's down to Sixer. How many clutches did we see from him towards the end there?
Mate, he really stepped up when his teammates needed it the most. If he clutched in that last round, that would have been fantastic. But his time stalling alongside the rest of his teammates was enough. You know, that was it. That was just it right there. What a massive showing from LDLC. And again, that is Fate's map pick. Statistically speaking, like in terms of averages and times played and win rates, that is probably their best map in the pool. So this has gone terribly wrong, essentially. Going into Inferno, statistically, one of the worst maps in the pool for them. What hope do Fate have at the moment?
I'm really worried for them. We talked about in the pregame the fact that, you know, sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. We saw them showing up in glimpses, but in consistency across the board, they weren't. I mean, they just weren't there. Yes, you can make the point, oh, you know, Sixer clutched out 2 rounds where they were 1v2s and that, you know, got them the edge. Yeah, it did. But at the same time, you know, sometimes clutches go your way. It doesn't matter how you win the rounds. What matters is putting rounds up on the board, and that's what LDLC were able to do.
And even then, you know, take a look at 1v2 clutches, someone had to make a mistake in order to cost that. So,
yeah.
You know, the fact that they were able to let that go to their way is still something to take into account. You know, it might not always just be a fantastic play from Sixer. It could also be issues on the Fate side. So regardless of what it is, it's still going to be a loss for them going into Inferno. Time's about to get tough for Fate. So we're going to go to a short break, see whether they can psych themselves up for our second map of the best of 3. Don't go anywhere.
shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
Well, second place in last week's playoffs, but they may well end up grouped here for Fates. A disaster of a start, 16-14 on their own map pick going into Inferno, one of the worst maps in the pool. It's not a good look, Dwayne. And you were saying in the break right there, to me, just the possibility for them to go out now, it's very likely right here. Like, to lose such a map like Train in that sort of fashion against LDLC, who, yeah, you know, they came off the back of a very poor performance against the likes of Gambit youngsters. You're looking at the thing in yourself, Fate at least have the momentum off the back of a victory to come into this one, but they haven't shown anything like we saw from earlier, and the concerns of how close the results were are really coming to fruition to show exactly where they're standing right now.
Yeah, look, things are looking pretty rough, to say the least, from Fate. It's not as if they played poorly on Train, but I suppose in comparison to what we should expect from these guys, it's certainly a much higher level. I mean, yeah, look, Fate are currently ranked 38th on HLTV, but you would probably consider them to be kind of around that top 30 position, if, you know, maybe 25, let's just say. You know, they've been on a bit of a slump here and there recently. But for LDLC, like, these guys aren't even, I would say, a competitor to a top 30 team. They're 75th at the moment. They've come into week 2 of Malta vibes where they put up a decent showing, not a great showing. And they're coming into week 4 looking absolutely incredible. You look at the stats line between the two players. It's Haji, the rifler for LDLC, against Harm with the AWP, that were the top fraggers in that last game. But it seemed like for Fate, you know, the AWPs weren't doing anything. It was Sixer and Lambert on those double AWPs on the city side that were finding so much impact.
That's the crucial thing, right? You know, Six only got 2 less kills than Haji did, but he also got like 6 less deaths. You know, his ratio was so ridiculous, and you know the AWP was played so well for him. The fact he was able to get those clutches in particular, in terms of the impact player. Personally, I would have given the performance rating to Sixer. I think a lot of people would agree in that particular respect. You know, for them, you know, they've just got such big talents, and you talk about like Haji, he was about middle of the board, you know, in terms of statistics and the way that HLTV would rank them. So the fact that that's the comparison there, and you can still see the difference between the middle of the board versus the top of the board for Fate, like that's concerning right now. And yeah, it's not a case that they aren't performing, that they're performing particularly bad. It's a case that they're not able to handle, they're not able to manage what LDLC are doing right now, and that is a key problem.
And you think, you know, put everything aside, put, like, you know, what we saw today aside, what we've seen in recent times, you look at Fate and you look at LDLC, like, there's no comparison. Like, there literally is not. How this is even going to a second map for LDLC taking map number 1 is astonishing. It is absolutely astonishing for LDLC. It's a big upset. It's a great advantage. Going into Inferno, you know, people are probably thinking the LDLC are on for a 2-0, and I'm thinking the same now.
That's the thing, like, I'm thinking to myself that we're on for a 2-0. Again, this Inferno map is not a map that has been well represented by Fate. They have played it only a handful of times, 24 times overall, which is actually a pretty decent number for, you know, for a 3-month time period. But you take a look at the victories that they've got. Wizards, Isaaco Boars, Skade, Hellraisers is one, that's okay. You know, barely scraping through a Dignitas victory, which is the main sort of highlight thing for them. They've also got victories against AGF, you know, and Movistar Riders, who are all teams who are disappointing by comparison to the level that we should be seeing Skade perform at. But we should be seeing Fate perform at, I should say. You know, and certainly you would have hoped that some of those victories, some of the losses that they've had against, you know, the likes of Gambit Youngsters and Hard Legion and Namiga and Pact, you know, you would have hoped they would have gone to their way, and even lost to alternate attacks very recently. So it's not really a good look, I think.
No, look, it certainly isn't. And I think jumping into the knife round, Jay, that LDLC, you know, yeah, they're coming as an underdog, but they're right in the lower bracket. They're doing incredibly well. So a great performance on map number 1. Now, if Sixer can perform at, let's just say 80% of what he did on that first map, that would be such a big advantage for LDLC going into the second. And I tell you what, I reckon he's going to be going at 100%. I reckon he's going to be giving it absolutely everything that he's got.
Well, as Knife Round goes the way of Fate, they get their choice assigned, and we want to remind you, of course, for potentially the last time tonight, that Malta Vibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, our home in gaming excellence. And, well, I mean, I kind of predicted that Fate would be able to take it in, you know, potentially 3 maps. I'm now reconsidering my stance here. I thought that this would be the map that LDLC would confidently take. The fact that they scraped by on Train speaks a lot about Fate's current situation and not being on form as a whole today. This, I think, is a 2-0. I'm gonna say from here, given what we've seen so far in this matchup, this looks to be an LDLC win for me.
Yeah, look, it certainly looks that way. I've still got a bit of a gut feeling that Fate can bring something out of the gate. And I don't know whether that's just me hoping that we're going to see more from Fate of what they were like a couple of months ago in comparison to what they are now. But you certainly just have to think that they've got so many advantages, even with this being their opponent's map pick, even with it not being one of the strongest maps in the map pool for them, that they've still got the upper hand, and they should have the upper hand. So, look, my gut feeling's still saying that we're going to go to a third map, but I can certainly see LDLC 2-0ing this.
Well, LDLC would love to 2-0 this, and I think that there's a good shout that they would, and I think that they've sort of hyped up off the back of that last one to potentially take this map victory and take this series victory, and, you know, claim for all intents and purposes, Fate's playoff spot. They're going to concede that to LDLC. LDLC to take away the place of the grand finalists in this week's Cup. And you can see how the odds have evened out. Last time in the last map, that was about a 3.6 odd for LDLC. Now it's dead set even with a 100th of a point going the way of the Fate side. So if you want to get involved with Multivibes, the best way to do so is through our betting partners at LootBet. Make sure you click the banner under the Twitch channel. Get yourself involved by placing bets on Multivibes matches. You can get 10 free CSGO spins and up to €100 bonus on your betting deposit. So, Diffuse for Blocker, Utility for Lambert and Hadji as we go to the pistol round for our second map.
We've seen in a lot of pistol rounds from LDLC, no matter what the map is, a lot of utility. We see both Hadji and Lambert going for the 2 smokes and the 2 flashes to see if they can potentially get their way into the A-bomb site. A bit of an apartments pressure coming through just to give a little bit of information up to the CT side, see if they can take that map control away, see if they can get a player quite deep to the end of the apartments. And it looks like for Afro, he's just going to sell a B fake.
Oh, or get a one-tap. That's also appropriate, I think. The B site is open. If they went there now, they would have a simple plant and a simple post-plant to fend off as well. They're still going to lean in towards this A site play, though. They've got mid-control, and as Afro slowly peeks in, they start to realize what's going on. The smokes here for Lambert and Hadji could be enough to smoke out Cross and the Coffins. USP takes face, however, it will force them back. Did he see the bomb? Did he see anything from here? In the end, Afro's just going to keep peeking forward with his raid boss play. 30 seconds left. They're going to walk into the bomb site with the most CTs. No rotations will be called until Patrick goes down. He sees the man, takes his firefight. Afro's made his way into the bomb site. 20 seconds left. If they drop the bomb, if this USP peeks in and drops the bomb, then that could be a serious chance for Patrick. Faced on, Afro takes him down, and it's a 5-on-3 post-plant, the bomb plant to be secured.
And look, that was risky, but it was a really smart call from LDLC. Afro, he found that opening pick over towards B. He stays around, and he calls it out with like 30 seconds left. The site's open, rotate the bomb in. Yeah, look, there's a bit of a risky factor that they can drop that bomb, but it means they're not running into the stack on that A bomb side. A 5-on-3, it's just going to be an instant save from Fade. They're not even thinking about going for the retake. And for LDLC, that certainly wasn't on their cards. They just wanted to leave him as a lurk and see if he could bait out some rotations. But in the end, it actually works out that they find an empty site. And, well, for Afro, he certainly got his criticism from me over the course of the day, but that's one of the best rounds we've seen from him.
Massive stuff. 2 picks to his name, and in general, you receive criticism from us both about his, position in this team. Oh, look at the kills going the way of the T side. 1 player left alive, so all the Kevlar falls out. So the force buy is going to be much harder for Fate. $650 they're going to have to re-buy down into. And I think they will take it here. Got the scout and the SMGs. So they're making sense at this moment with Hahn taking the scout. Of course, he's the player that had the Kevlar by the end of that round. But yeah, no, like we've criticized a lot of elements of LDLC over the last couple of, over the last few hours. And right now, those elements are looking so much better here in this matchup. See whether they can continue that way as the force buys out for Fate. T-side gaining brackets control very early on here, or at least trying to contest it. Haven't quite forced all the way forward here, but the smoke is down towards short, so Mara and Blocker can't do anything.
Oh, big damage being done in terms of HE usage, but the flashbang coming out towards long, and that gives him a bit of information, but the kill still goes the way of the CT side, and they keep trying to come in. Patrick's able to find 2 with the MP9, and LDLC, the pressure towards brackets was just all falling apart.
Credit to the spray transfer for the man. That worked really well for Patrick, and Blocker's going to try and get similar sorts of cash out for the CT camp. They've still got Hadji to deal with, though. He's found himself one pick, no more than that. Harden will shut him down, and a quick response from Fate to get back in on the CT side.
They recover all of the AKs, Jay. That's probably... I mean, they can be happy they won the round, obviously, but think of, you know, how much more of a reward that is that they don't have to invest any rifles or any kind of SMGs or anything going forward, because they've now got 3 players, they've picked up AKs, they've reset the money line, they've forced LDLC to buy back, and they didn't get a bomb plant in that last round, so it's going to make it very difficult to make this buy work against what we're seeing against Fate.
Force up a course for this T side. I'm expecting this to be the start of a brawl here between these two sides. Fate know what's at stake. And if they lose now, they can hang their heads in shame considering how far they got last time around. Minute and 15, the T-sub towards the apartments, the bomb on the back of Lambert, back over at second mid. Mars going to peek forward to this. Will he catch any of these picks? Will he get any sort of flash back? Taken out by Afro on a quick one-for-one trade here. AK for Han here towards the gap at the broken wall. Getting traded back by Hadji, but Nicky able to respond. So one player next to Vaughn. It would have done enough damage here for LDLC. Forced by a round, it does mean that they will be in a bit of an awkward position. Nade up against Hadji, ego's falling. Lambert, last man standing in a 1 versus 3.
He's got so much to do. They know exactly where he is. He has been able to pick up an AK from a teammate of Hadji, but this is going to be a very, very difficult clutch from him. Still got a couple of flashbangs to work with, seeing if he can maybe isolate some of these one-on-ones. I think he's got a pretty good read on where Patrick is into the side, but he needs to try and deal with the Moto player first.
Struggling to find his way onto it at this stage, and just being faced up against. He saw the shoulder away from Patrick. He knows what's going on. Lambert, 1 frag, no more than that. Trades eventually do come through, and that is going to be the 2-1 now for the Board of Fate. And a good start coming through from the CT side. LDLC with the pistol, but all in all, it works out to the favor of the CT camp. And an Eco now to concede a third to the Board of Fate, and keep this going to their favor and keep the momentum swinging is where Fate really need to be here. They need to get a good start. They need to keep this control for as long as they possibly can on CT side.
Unfortunately, not too much damage in terms of utility out towards the banana face coming out for the CTs, but this should be a pretty easy mop-up, especially with these MP9s out. Well, Han and Nicky doing a lot of work, getting a lot of damage out, and Hadji is actually making this round pretty expensive as he's able to get a couple of kills with this Deagle that he upgraded. Oh, I thought he was going to get a 4th there. That's actually massive damage done.
Yeah, 3 players falling. I mean, yeah, the SMGs did farm up the cash. They've got quite a little bit they can dive into, but the point there is to use it as a bonus round, get the SMGs out, and just try and save as much as you can in terms of the Kevlar and the and the utility. Because even at this stage, even with the number of frags that win the way of SMGs, you can see how the economy is going to be affected by 3 reinvestments to buy up to the M4s and the AWP. For a minute there, you could have seen that Deagle doing some mad, stupid stuff there in the Nala position. But LDLC back on the rifles here. Limited utility sets, but passive control coming through. They're expecting banana aggression, which they will see from 4 members of Fate. As they peek up, they back off, seeing nothing from LDLC.
They had a lot of players from Fate early towards that banana control. They had 4 players over that ended up rotating 3 back to A, or having a 3-man stack at this A bomb site. And now just leaving Nicky. So it's going to be the standard 4A 1B setup, with just a player normally jump spotting around this broken wall position. Oh, I actually really like this walk boost coming out for Body, just to see if he can find something over the edge of this smoke.
Nicky with a re-smoke back. Can Body see anything? They're just edging closer and closer. Jump facing, he saw him. He caught the info, he takes the spray, top of the smoke, and a quick rush down to that B bomb site. Smoke towards Cross, coming in very, very late to this one. Han is there with the AWP set up. He still gets the shot on Body a tick earlier than the flashbang. Another booster come through. He's going to get one of the rifles set up. That's Patrick looking on the site. Nades on. He takes out Afro. Sprays through blind on Hadji as well. And Fate's defensive is looking confident here on CT side. 4-on-2. Sixer tags up. Taken down. Spray blind from Mar. Does get taken out by Lambert, who gets a 2K. Forced to reload though as they aggress. And Patrick will secure the round. 4 kills for him. And a beautiful hold from Fate.
And I'll tell you what, I was actually really impressed from LDLC. The boost coming up over the edge of that smoke to take down Nikki straight away. I mean, that's the perfect call, right? You take down the B defender that's jump spotting at the broken wall. Now, you will almost never have 2 defenders at B if one's jump spotting at the broken wall. So straight away, they know, right, that's the only defender. Let's go quick into B. But what a hold comes through. Han's able to get a shot through the smoke. They boost up Patrick, and he's able to get 4 massive kills. 4-1 up for Fate. And it's going to be quick out towards Banana, but look at the spray! Look at the damage, Shay!
How does Nikki get away with that second kill? 4-on-2. Afro swinging in, trying to respond of his own right. Deagle's still in check. They need to get some of these rifles out. A smoke down to Cross might enable the bomb plant here, but Afro needs backup from body. He needs to get out of this position and needs to go for a formulated push because he's the high HP player. Get that rifle off to him and let him do the picking apart for LDLC. And yes, it was a half by eco round coming through from the T side, but so many casualties sustained as Harden gets a leg shot on Afro. That's enough to take him down. Tech9 peeking in. Disagree with the M4 or getting thrown off the body in the apartment's face, but either way, 5-1 here. Fate looking much better than they did over on Train. I'll tell you that for free.
No, they 100% are. It's almost like they've, you know, taken a little bit of Red Bull or some, you know, some sort of soft drink or something, because they've actually come out firing. They have looked incredibly good. They really have come out with a positive mindset. They've probably just realized the fact of, you know, we need to play with, you know, that like no respect style. We need to absolutely crush these guys. And well, I'll tell you what, after losing the pistol, it's been an absolute stomping. 5 rounds in a row. Body does just wide swing up towards top of Banana. So at least LDLC, they're finding an advantage in round 7.
Spray through on Body, doing some damage. The first kill goes the way of LDLC though, so that's a good start here by the T side. Hadji gets a kill on Han over in the apartments, so 2-man advantage for LDLC, looking real good, much better than these previous rounds from Fate. So he's forced to go passive with this one. Mars the only player defending the A site, but playing off of this boiler position could do a lot of damage if going left unchecked, and Lambert will not be able to get the frag. Sixer can respond though, so A site's open. Patrick and Block are already going back for a save.
Yeah, they're not interested. It's just too difficult to bring that back. And well, for LDLC, they put pressure on the map, and we see Body wide swinging up towards the top of Banana, gets a great opening kill, and from there they try and force the numbers game. They're playing as a unit. They're making sure they're trading out 1-for-1. And well, Patrick and Blocker, they're locked out. There's no way they can retake, holding on to 2 M4s to bring it into the next round. For LDLC, you know, they've stopped the little streak from Fate. They've been able to get back on the board with the second round on the T side. And one thing, you know, to mention it again, Jay, they need to make sure that they're following up rounds. Something that they struggled against Gambit youngsters, but they need to focus on in Inferno now.
The buy up from Fate be a little bit awkward here and there. Patrick and Blocker can't drop the M4s. Mark can buy 1, and could go Glass Cannon AWP alongside Han as well. They're just going to go for the half buy instead around this, so just those 2 rifles to hold on to and do the damage that they can. Upgrade pistols in Kevlar to do the rest of it. Han's going to actually go full eco for the most part. I think he bought maybe a bit of utility or an upgrade pistol. The boosters are going to try something that can make the best of the positional advantage here up on the boiler area, and they might not be ready for this. Hadji face out from bedroom, and if he goes down, that'll be a good start with a rifle they can pick up.
And not often do you see the double boost coming up in Boiler, but considering the buy that they've got, it could work out really nicely. That Molotov just makes it so awkward. They have to split apart and they have to try and escape. And Hadji, he hasn't quite seen any pressure up towards the apartments looking into that Boiler position.
Seconds left, and a swing from Patrick goes wrong. Afro takes him down. Blocker here towards the long position. Minion waiting with his M4 to receive some sort of T-side presence, but I'm going to go back towards the B-bomb site as the third player's rotated towards A. It's all left on Nicky here. He's got a pistol. He's got a CZ, a counter flash coming through for him. He faces up, takes a fight against Lambert, which he loses again, 5-on-3. CZ blind spray comes through, blocking its bodies. 3-on-3 situation. Might be welcome for Fate. He's going to walk straight out, but how do you just shut him down? The balls on him to go for that. I don't even know what he was thinking.
I never know. Whenever I'm casting Fate, sometimes I'm just like, what? Like, why? But in the end, it's just going to be Ma to try and see if he can hold on to this M4, bring it into the next round. It was only a half buy, so they can't really be too disappointed that they lost out. They got a couple of kills, so it was decent. But LDLC, they're going to be 2 in a row now on the T side, being able to pick up 3 rounds, 2 as a deficit. And certainly, the banana control has been working out really nicely. Fate have sort of struggled to hold banana control. A lot of the time, they've used early nades, but they haven't really been able to ever take it on the CT side. We only saw that one round where Nicky was jump spotting towards the top of that broken wall where they were able to stack 4 on the A-bomb side. And, well, stacking up your cases potentially over at our good sponsors at Hellcase, giving you some fantastic codes to work with Malta V and Malta V15 for a little bit of cash in your pocket and a 15% refill bonus to only get the sickest skins, unlike Ma.
Poor Ma. Spray through Afro. Taking out Nicky, body, 6 HP, Lambert goes down,
What?
3 kills for Patrick on the face side, and LDLC with a fast play, dropping the bomb and probably dropping the round from here. Wow, that was over quickly.
What just happened there? Patrick just did such a great hold of that job over towards the top of Banana, and the swings, they kept going one by one for LDLC. They were trading out pretty nicely when Nicky went down. It was very chaotic, and somehow Patrick gets 3 kills out of that.
And 6 is left alone. 1-on-4 situation for him. Might be able to get this exit here on Han, but unlikely even if he takes the face. The Orp's already trained onto him. I mean, he's got to try fight towards Banana anyway where there's 3 CTs, so whatever option 6er takes, there's no way out. This is going to be a 6th for Fate, and well, LDLC was a good turnaround for their rifles. Patrick does burn alive, so 6er gets that much at least, but Blocker there with a swing and a hit and a kill on 6er, so 6-3. Rebuy can come through from LDLC, so there's always that consolation prize.
Another good round coming out for Fate. And certainly for them, you know, they have come out of the gates firing. They're looking a lot better than what we saw from them on train. Playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. We're seeing a lot of swings coming out, trying to take the fight on the CT side, being very aggressive and in your face. And even the buy from LDLC, like, yeah, they can certainly get a buy back. We've seen quite a lot of times that Lambert's been forced onto a Galil. LDLC, I would say they win this round, they're able to get back into contention on this T side, but if they lose it, they lose so much momentum.
A kill from Ma. Trying to double up against Lambert. He gets that one back with 6 with a trade frag, and Hadji gets down Blocker as well. Han sees them taking their way out towards the mid position.
Oh!
2 picks for the AWP. Completely blind, but a flashbang does not quite get Hadji. But Patrick does, so the trades are good enough for the short control in Fate. 7-3. Look at the live on a CT side.
Oh, those shots from Han were looking very exceptional, and they're going to take a tactical LDLC. They go, right, okay, we won pistol. We let them have a few streak rounds. They got 5 in a row. Then we answered back. Now we're not really answering back. What do we need to do? What can we do as a change-up? The fact that 2 players, the Body and Sixer, are pushing in through brackets and no one is checking that long position is unacceptable. And it's easy pickings for the AWP.
A tactical pause called by LDLC, I think for the first time this map, if memory serves me correctly.
Sounds about right.
And for Fate, certainly going to be in a good position, but not because of it, but certainly it's going to indicate some good stuff for them. Run boost for the AWP. Tarn going to get anything? No, he won't. Needs to trade back and forth between both sides again towards Banana. Early utility damage done to Afro. He's going to take the aggressive face. He's been pretty good with his Banana control, but one more passive this time past the broken wall. He's got 2 players to defend against. He gets that kill. Actually, Body gets the kill on Nicky and Patrick. That's B-side open, and they're not going to wait for any time. They know that's the entire defensive. They can just get the bomb plant from here, and Fate are already conceding the round.
Oh my goodness, and well, we've seen Body finding a lot of success towards that top of Banana position, just wide swinging, and unfortunately we didn't get to catch that, but with Nicky and Patrick going down, it just opens up B. It's an instant save coming out from Fate. And, well, for LDLC, it certainly seems like Body lurking around this top broken wall, top Banana position is working out really nicely. Whether they end up going to B or whether they end up going to A in future rounds, at least leaving him there after taking control seems to be a really good strategy and something that's working well for them.
Han, most forward player, and now the hunt starts coming through from the T side. Nice lead on Haji. We might keep him suppressed for the moment here in the apartments, but out of the gate he makes his way in. They hear the footsteps. Can't see them on sight. Sees Blocker, takes him down. That's a crucial rifle to lose. And yeah, they will lose 2 back, but the investment can still come through for LDLC. So the 4th coming in for the T side. The buy might not be as confident for Faye, which I think really indicates how close these rounds have really been. For Mask drop for Patrick. Nicky should buy an M4, yes he will. Lack of head Kevlar, that's fine. Versus the full-blown AKs to the LDLC side, and they definitely have the better buy.
Certainly. Fate. How much further can they go forward? How far further can they extend this lead? Up 7-4, even if LDLC go 4-0 in terms of the T side and end up securing an 8-7 half, I would still say that Fate would be pretty satisfied with 7 rounds on CT, so any more than they can get would just be an extra bonus. Look at the deep abs control. This could be an abs pop coming out.
Already with 2 picks to find. He drops that bomb, but does not drop Body. Body takes him down instead to a 4-on-4, but Blocker's seen it from here. Like, surely the rotation must be called in eventually. Smoke up, flashing to try and stall for time when they know that LDLC have made a great mistake by pushing Haji in first. Sprays through. Look how aggressive Blocker wants to get, but he will pay for it. Afro gets the bomb. Will they continue the commitment towards A? It looks like they will here. Afro just going to force the issue forward. Flashbang keeps him blind. AWP smoked off, so we can't see the cross. Patrick burning. Top of the boxes. Han will also burn. Patrick on 4. Han on 26. The HP numbers well and truly favoring LDLC as Nicky, the high HP player, goes down. Han quick to follow. Patrick will find one good headshot, but Sixer... And with a quick response, 5 to the board of LDLC as the T side starts getting wrapped up again.
Oh, okay. Now it puts Fate in a pretty awkward position because they're not going to be able to pretty much buy anything going into round 13. They'll be saving to see if they can get those rifles out into the next. And, well, this lead that Fate have had for, like, pretty much all of this first half is now starting to shorten. We're starting to get closer and closer to a tied scoreline. 7-5, only 2 rounds in a deficit at the moment. And I thought maybe we're going to get a round restart, considering what's happening with the CT side, but it looks like we're still live, Jay.
I mean...
What's going on here? Oh... Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's an eco, so why bother wasting the time? Call the tech pause and the freeze time, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Stacking over at the B site and just chill. Maybe Blocker will disconnect. No, he's back in. Okay, so there you go. I don't even know. There probably was no need for a tech pause. But either way, LDLC suppressed. Oh no, I think, is that Nicky losing connection as well? Or is he holding the angle?
he's just
You
waiting.
can't tell. You can't tell, can you? Either way, LDLC very passive at the moment here. They're playing just as carefully and just as frozen as Fate were.
And where's the gut feeling here for LDLC? Because at the moment, they don't really have any information. They haven't seen any of the CT players. So they know that a stack's coming out somewhere, and it looks like they're probably making the right call. They're taking this bracket to control, looking to make their way into the A bomb site. Still a fair bit of utility to work with. And for Fate, well, they're stacked up at B.
Well, 20 seconds left. And every time I see a player stop right now, I'm getting really paranoid. The match is frozen. We're going to rerun the round.
Well, we can because no damage has been done. Oh, no, I think you have to... It's like after the minute, isn't it?
After the minute, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, it's well past the point of a round reset, but we certainly might see a pause at some point. But no, Fate are just happy to stack their way in towards mid, potentially do some damage. To take rifles away from LDLC at this stage, it actually would be a pretty decent pickup for the economy, but Body's seen them now. Hadji's going to take the face instead, get 2 picks. All right, not too bad. Third player around in the corner, but Mara and Nicky do find a couple of responses here. So again, to drop those 2 rifles, that's massive. If Nicky can get 1 out and save it into the next round, that'll be even better. But 2 players up, neither of them go down to the man. So 6 to LDLC, and the investment should look awkward, but it will get rifles back in for the T side.
They certainly won't have enough money for that AWP, which is, I suppose, a bit of a weakness going into round 14's buy. They would have loved to have been able to get that opportunity to bring that in for Han, but the money's just not there for them. It's going to be a couple of FAMASas up for Nicky Doctor and Blocker. Whereas for LDLC, they've got a really great buy. They've got the AWP out for Sixer, they've got AKs across the board, full utility sets. And, well, they're trying to establish a little bit of some early banana control, and Fate aren't really using too much utility to counter it.
Some utility damage will come through on Sixer early, though. Facing from Afro, he loves getting aggressive, and he's been looking on point here with his banana control. Not quite as on point to get the secondary kill, but Sixer and Body are there to take control and find the trades. Hadji there spotting the last 2 CTs, knowing they're both on the A bomb site. The call can come through, the plant can be secured. Body's going to go so far as to extend out towards CT spawn and potentially get the exit frags, but Fate are not rotating to this. They're just not going to do so. They're just going to leave this one. Save their weapons. Might get hunted down by Hadji. He's still here in the bedroom. Mad around that corner, all down to timing. He does get that kill back. So again, 2 picks to be found, AK to be recovered, but this will be a 7th for LDLC.
And tied up on LDLC's map pick of Inferno. Now, in case you're just joining the stream, this is the decider best of 3. So the winner of this game will be advancing into the playoffs, while the loser will be going home eliminated, joining Gambit Youngsters in Group A in making that top 8 finish, or top 8 position to say. And for LDLC, they're up a map already. 1 more will get them the 2-0 victory, and at least we're getting closer to a very competitive scoreline at the moment on this second map. 7-7, we're tied up.
Well, look like Fate we're going to be able to run away with on this CT side. May still turn to Jello. LDLC. And with the final round of the half, and the buy is not going to be amazing here from the CT camp. They have that AK save from Mar, but Nicky has got a CZ. Single pistol, that's it. No one can drop him anything better. He's got to settle with that. And they've got to use the utility in the best way that they can. They did put these nade stacks out to do some damage. Didn't get any kills for it, but this time they're not even going to get even the damage here. Just the face up, on towards Cubby, no one there to receive it, and they're going to stack towards an A hit.
LDLC going into the bracket control. They haven't actually seen anything, so it's a bit of a dry run, and Body, I'll tell you what, his entering ability has been absolutely phenomenal so far, and he's actually stuck into CT.
Takes out Nicky, 2nd kill coming in. Han there to trade back on Afro. He's so low. Do they know he's there at CT? They're not checking it. No one's got their eyes on. Minute to go. Body's in such a good position right here. I don't think they have any idea. Han is looking back there. Patrick's going to get a backstab in. So body set to fall. Knife out. Knife.
He's waiting.
Come on, Patrick.
He's waiting.
Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. You know you want to. You know you want to, but he's just going to chase body, take him down. They think they've got long control and they're just relying on short in the apartments. Molotovs and HEs. Mar and Han are pretty low, so LDLC could still force this, especially as Lambert takes out Patrick, buys a line back into the B bomb. So Hadji there to cut off rotations, take the players down. Here's Mar coming in, quad going down, and Han left alone. Here on the corner boost, the bomb plant to be secured. A 1-on-3, 1-on-2 retake at best. And, well, yeah, that's just not going to happen for him. Tap from Hadji takes him down. 2 kills, 8 rounds on the board for LDLC to take the half.
Okay. Well, we saw a bit of streaks coming out for both sides. 5 in a row at max for both Fate and LDLC. Man, this is turning out to be a very close second map, just like the first one was, which is always great to see. And 16-14 on Train now going into Inferno. It will be LDLC going up 8-7. And you got to think, Jay, it comes off the back of the pistol, right? If they can follow up with this momentum, that could really be the driving force for this 2-0.
Well, still dead set even here between LDLC and Fate. And on the ons, it is a similar sort of number. You can see they're just slowly shifting as time goes on in real time. Of course, if you want to take advantage of those odds, you can still do so here. You can click the banner under the Twitch channel, go to our betting partners at LootBet. 10 free CSGO spins and up to €100 bonus for your deposit if you get involved now. And the T side now of Fate. Can they do something with this? They need to do something with this, actually. I mean, it's not even a question of can they. It's a case of do so or die trying. Utility for Nikki and Blocker, defuse kit for Lambert, utility for Afro on the CT side, and LDLC taking contact nades up to try and stop them from making their way into Banana. Fate setting themselves up for the B-side play.
And I'll tell you what, Fate are in a really great position because this is an A stack coming out. The resmoke does at least allow a bit of time for the rotations to come through, and they're going to start to come out, but Afro needs to be able to draw this information, and now their teammates are starting to come.
After the USP, Nikki planting open, damage done. He doesn't quite go down though. Minimal amounts under the T-side forces overall. Afro forced on the reload here. And Sixer moving up, flashes over. Patrick taking out Afro, but he gets a quick trade. Sixer tapping his way through Blocker, finds a trade back of his own, and Patrick maintains the man advantage, but Hadji out in the open, turns 2 versus 2, faces Patrick, shuts him down. Nikki left towards New Box, he taps for Hadji, spins 180 for the headshot, the clutch, the 3K, and the 9th for LDLC.
Oh my goodness, that's such a difficult shot to hit. Oh my goodness, that's insane from Hadji. That last kill, the 180 turnaround while trying to check the dark position onto Nubox. And for Fate, you know, things looked pretty good in the post plant. They were able to get the man advantage. They had that 3-on-2. The LDLC was starting to panic on the rotate and retaking the bomb side, but they come out successful. What a start from them. And for Fate, it's not quite going to be a force buy, but just an upgrade of some Deagles and a little bit of Kevlar.
Oh, nades on Nikki's dead. That's a start, Lambert. To find the pick, but with assistance. And the Deagle's out against him. He knows that they're facing up here. They think it's a force buy, though. I mean, Fate think they could have gone for a half buy, which does leave them in a bit of an awkward economical standing. SMG could get overwhelmed here. He's got to back up a second player here, and Mar will be able to drop the man. SMG spray through, gets 2 kills now for body. Bomb being dropped, 1 versus 4. Dink down, 12 HP. And body will end up with a 3K. So all the kills on SMGs, plenty of money gained right now for the CT side. Lambert should invest. I think LDLC are better to take the bonus round as the AKs are out in full for Fate.
Double digits now up for the Frenchman. And you've got to think, yeah, look, going for the bonus round makes a lot of sense. You know, keep that economy strong. Don't upgrade any unnecessary rifles. Keep the SMGs out. If you lose the round, you'll still get enough money to buy into the next. And not a great amount of utility coming out from a few of the players. Unfortunately, if they got a bomb plant in that last round, that would not have been an issue. pretty passive stuff coming out for the CTs. Not really looking for anything aggressive, at least in the early round. Looking to take a bit of a fight towards that banana position. But for the A players, they're pretty set on playing quite deep in the bomb side.
Oh, buddy. Of course he does. Like,
of course, yeah.
Fate taking face past the smoke and the kill coming in for LDLC. Like, this is the level of unfortunacy we will see coming through for Fate.
Yeah.
Like, this was the map we expected to be to the favor of LDLC. This is a 2-0 chance for them, and Fate are now just getting picked apart at the worst possible moments here across the map.
And they're going to try and funnel their way in, by the looks of things, into that A bomb site. The problem here, though, is that the bomb is still in towards the T spawn area, so they might actually look at trying to regain this banana control, but they're going to have to deal with 2 players because Body and Afro are both here, and they're actually going to pop flash into the smoke, but it goes the other way. How much more damage can Body do? He's taken Han so low, but it finally goes the other way, and now they can quickly go into B.
3-on-3 with 6 are finding blocker over on the A bomb site, and now Lambert will take face. SMG here to get even more picks back on Mar. He drops him, looks back in for Han, but Han finds a trade. So 2-on-2, backstab in from Nicky. Han is so low, so if they can get these SMGs in, get the pick apart, they get money, they get themselves a pretty decent bomb position as well. And as soon as they spot where Nicky's coming from, this will end up being a decent defuse here. Incendiary's back, Nicky gonna defend from CT6, a spray through, gets that kill. Tapping the bomb, Hadji taking face, he gets the frag as well. LDLC have done it. Bonus round going their way. SMGs and for Mars getting themselves a 11th. 3 AKs on 2 players. Oh, LDLC, this is looking so good.
Now, normally, when you're in a 2-on-2 like that, and you've got the bomb plan, and you've got a lurk that's coming out to wrap in through CT, it's normally impossible for you to lose that round. And somehow LDLC, Hadji, he has an idea that you know, they've cleared out banana and that there might be a player to come in from the back lines, and well, he's reading the play. The bomb plan goes through so they can half buy a tad going into round number 19, but another big round for LDLC. They get that AWP out to 6er, and for Fate, you've got to think the pressure's starting to build now.
It really is. Like, unbelievably so. Not a single round so far in this half on elimination point as well. Like, this is not what Fate were hoping for in this week's match, in this week's tournament. This is not what they were expecting to find. I don't think anybody expected them to see this level of underperformance coming through for them. And the T side just getting ripped apart by Hadji here on balcony. Good kill coming in for Nicky. He's got the bomb. He can secure the plant. Grabbing that AWP as well against 2 more. Up for a clutch, but he needs to make this work right here. Fate's done the damage. Good scope in, missing his flick, and Body will secure the 12th round for LDLC.
And unfortunately for Fate, Bibi, their coach, their North American coach, isn't actually in server at the moment, so you know, he's not really able to be able to speak to them and kind of say, like, guys, you know, this is what we need to do. We need to, like, keep the morale up, because for Fate, you know, they're struggling. This has been a massive streak around coming out from LDLC. And if I'm correct, Jay, this is 9 rounds in a row for the Frenchman, because it was a 7-3 lead for Fate.
Yeah, this has been just disaster since that point. So many rounds in a row for LDLC. Momentum well and truly to their favor. The AK out here for Lambert finding one. Hadji getting Patrick and Nicky. How? Block has been seen at the edge of the smoke. Lambert can't take him down, but the info's been called out to his teammate. He does get 6er in the end. 3-on-2. The bomb's been dropped out brackets though. Afro's going to see that. He's going to have all the info he needs to work with the round. Shot not connecting to the man out there, but blocker falling nade on. Han goes down. 13 for LDLC.
First of all, they didn't check the cubby position, and then after they check it, they don't take him down. You saw blocker looking at cubby. I don't understand how Lambert's still there. Just mistakes. Like, how can you fast take long with no one checking cubby? And when they do, not even reacting to it. It must have just been a quick check and didn't realize that there actually was someone there. Where's the tactical pause? Oh, mate, this is so frustrating to watch. And they're getting closer and closer to defeat here, Fate.
They are. They really are. Only 3 rounds away from loss in the map and the series. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. It is not a good time to be Bulgarian. Patrick will try and change the fortunes. Hadji and Lambert are able to respond. Nikki holds on for a bit, but Lambert still alive. Does fall back into the hands of Mar. So 2-on-2. Again, Fate doing as much as they can with the little that they have. 2 rifles picked up an SMG for body, though, and both these players susceptible to it. Nikki faces, gets that shot, and Afro is left alone. Trades back 1-on-1. Is he going to clutch this? Is he going to make this worse and worse for Fate? Facing up, going to continue looking around. Time's ticking. He sees where that bomb is. He's going to smoke down, try to see if he can hold on to the cross on Mar. Sticking it, tapping it once. Mar not biting the bait. He's going to face forward, spray through. Damage done. That throws almost taking him out here. Just taps, blind sprays. He's got to sit the 5 seconds though. And Mar knows it. Is he going to get the kill? Yes, he will. And finally, Fate have broken the streak. 8 to the T-side board. LDLC not able to get there just yet.
Oh, it was 10 in a row. 10 in a row from LDLC. And finally, Fate break the streak on a 1-on-1 in the end there. They've broken the money line. And you've got to think, this is probably the biggest chance that Fate have of allowing a comeback to come through, allowing to put the pressure back on the French side, but they need to convert rounds in a row. It's only a very light investment coming out for the French side. Only a couple of upgrades. A couple of kills could be there at most.
Mar on 1 HP is the closest player to going down, but that was an eco for the...
Could be double eco.
Yeah, probably most likely. I mean, it's about 4 grand, so they could potentially go for a force buy, but I'm thinking for the sake of the rifles, it makes sense. Yeah, upgrade pistols, Kevlar. And bit of utility that they could potentially use. Nothing majorly damage dealing with the exception of the incendiary from Hadji, which has just been used to try and block them off from banana control. LDLC, flash around the corner, body gets 1 pick. If he got that second, that would have been disastrous, so Patrick's ready for it, and Blocker will find Hadji as well. So 1 player left on either side now. 2 versus 4, LDLC. Can't make much out of the pistols in the same way that Fate did previously, but again, their main focus is going to be the rifle round.
Absolutely. That's where they'll put all their eggs in one basket, to say the least. It's really their best chance of going forward. But slowing it down, even with getting, you know, a couple of great opening kills. They've taken the banana control. They've been able to at least limit LDLC to only 2 more players alive, and they slow it down. They're cautious. They realize they don't really want to be throwing away any easy kills for the CT side. They're taking their time and being methodical.
Ooh, 6. Good adjustment there for the Deagle. Smoke down, he's solo holding this A bomb site. They're going to make their way up. Ooh, drive-by tag on Patrick. Okay, fine. If that was a headshot, that'd be more impressive and it would be more impactful, but he's still standing alone against 3. He's pushing up aggressive, making a lot of noise. Oh, he gets Patrick and drops the bomb. Stalling for time as he falls back even further. 20 seconds for Sixer. He's isolated either player to aggressive positions. Seeing where Mar is, knowing where that nade's coming from. Out towards Cubby corner, he couldn't take him down. Lambert next up, facing in the plant, safe and closed in the bomb site. P250 up, Mar takes him down. So evading disaster from the Deagle, but Sixer almost did it again for LDLC, and now the rifles will come into play.
Oh my goodness, that was looking really scary for Sixer. And look, he certainly hasn't put up the numbers like he did on Train over on Inferno, but he's had his moments, there's no doubt. 3 rounds the difference between these 2 sides. Now that half buy-in from the last is going to allow enough money to go through for a full buy investment, get that AWP onto Sixer, and LDLC, they need to put the pressure back on, and look at the aggression.
Lambert and Body 4. Afro finds 1 and 2 picks back in the apartments to a 3 versus 3 trade. AK spray blind from Patrick only does him for 72 HP. Even standing now for the CTs as they back off a little bit, rotating back to the B-bomb site as well. The AWP is ready for contact, takes out Nicky, drops that bomb as well. Flashbang in, blinds off the cross for Han, smoke back down, and Deagle makes his way in. Small gap at the right-hand side of that smoke. Sixer still drops him and drops that bomb for a second time. Patrick alone in a 1-on-3, and that was the defensive that LDLC were looking for. The rifles out, confidence brimming. AK finds 1 pick, but he turns back around against Hadji, expecting no one else to be there on the bomb site, but he was wrong. Orb saved for Masterlin for Afro, so it leaves a bit of an awkward buy-up coming in for LDLC here. But this probably shouldn't be, I mean, actually it could be concerning with the AKs and the Orb now back out for Han.
One thing I think you mentioned on Train was the fact of, you know, Sixer shows up when he's needed. And look, he's been relatively quiet for the first half and for most of the second. But these last couple of rounds, he's put up some monster performances. 2 massive AWP kills over towards that B bomb side. 14 rounds up for LDLC, 2 rounds away from going to the playoffs. This would be an incredible storyline.
Oh,
Hadji's got the XM. This could be big. Let's see what happens.
He can melt every single one. They've out. He spams his way in, only gets 1 frag. Sixer's there with the Orb to respond. Nade out, and he falls out of position. Blocker doesn't take any damage for it. A 4-on-3 situation as now they act towards mid. They've left the apartments pretty open. As Sixer gets the bomb of Blocker. 2 left standing. Ma and Han with everything to do. The SMG body faces slowly, sees his back, takes it off. There comes Lambert with the final frag. And it's Sixer, the man to do the damage again for the CT side. Not as much damage as Hadji, though. 27 kills for the man so far. And here on map and match point, Fate up for elimination. They've got to clutch 5 rounds to OT, else they're done.
Oh my goodness, I'm lost. I'm lost for words, Jay. I can't believe we're in this position. And they're going to take a tactical pause just to take a breather, just to go, right, okay, we're 1 round away. 1 round from going to the playoffs. To eliminate the grand finalists from last week. Man. Like, you wouldn't even put LDLC as competitors, I would say, in the French scene at the moment. You've got Vitality, you've got G2, you've got Heretics that have been a little bit hit and miss, but they're still like a top tier 2, low tier 1 team. LDLC's not even on the radar.
And that's the thing that makes it so surprising, right? Like like you mentioned, the comparison is not there.
Yeah.
They are a top 40 team in the world. LDLC are not. And they are not by such a large margin. How on earth are they pulling this off is the question that everyone's going to be asking, including Fate themselves. They will be able to find an opening pick here on a banana face. Afro with the Orb, down and out. M4 in for body. Patrick faces, that's bomb! He connects a second kill! Blocker faces and takes a trade. But now they have the info they need to work with. 3-on-3, the plant can come through, but a serious chance being bought now by body.
We've seen these retakes before coming out from LDLC. What can they find with it? Are they going to boost a player up to this flower pot position? Unfortunately, the rotators are really taking their time, trying to set themselves up. They're going to try and flash Hachi into the open. Oh, but he takes Nicky down.
The timing on the smoke fading, so perfect for the CT side. Nades on, Han's gonna make his way out to Old Grill. Nade towards the back of New Box. They gotta check Dark though. Hadji there facing, gets the kill. Blocker burns 1. Han's still here, getting Lambo, looking for Sixer next up, 16 HP. He's gotta get up there right now, taking 4 shots, and the AK spray comes back as Han keeps Fate alive. 15-11, LDLC not quite able to finish the job.
Oh my goodness, what a hold coming out from Han. He just waits. He's just trying to buy as much time as possible, see if he can bait out this AWP. Oh my goodness, that was a tough shot to hit from Sixer and Han. That's a huge clutch. It just keeps them in the game. Oh my goodness, LDLC, they're forcing the issue back and they've only got 2 M4s to work with.
Alright, crest forward on this one. The force buy looks so awkward for LDLC. They're going to bring this one down to the wire here. And already it's Nicky up with his Mac 10, dropping the first M4 as well. Reface from Lambert, getting quite aggressive for it. He's still at the edge of the smoke. Got a Deagle to back him up. A CZ in from Hadji. He may look to face. Smoke's coming in as Afro does get Patrick. That's one kill and map control from the B bomb site. They're going to try and funnel them in towards A. The Sixers caught off by Mar though, so man advantage maintained.
Where the Fate go? They've got the man advantage. They've still got utility and they've still got time to work with. Now Hadji's playing towards the balcony position at this A bomb site. This is going to be a gamble stack at A.
They've got no other choice at this stage. M4 boosted up for Lambert. What's he going to find? Will he find anything? He doesn't see anything. He doesn't see anybody. The smoke a bit too thick there in the midst of it. CZ bursts through from Hadji, gets one and two. Mar supporting with a 2-on-2 now standing. Afro peeking up. Lambert drops one. Mar's left alone. 1 versus 3. His massive mistake may have cost him. The bomb dropped now. And he's got 2 to find. Hadji, low HP in the midst of the pit. I think he spotted him. 25 seconds. Knows that Lambert's somewhere on the site. A smoke down to buy some cover, but that's all his utility gone. And the CTs moments away from claiming this. 17 seconds. Mar's got to get the bomb off the truck. Sprays blind. Hadji's going to evade it. And Mar's going to push forward, not checking the right side. And Lambert gets the final frag. The CZ combines with a TK to close it out again.